Okay, welcome everybody. Coffee and Art on Wednesday morning. Thanks for being here. I'm Dee Dee. You're watching a live show on Ustream.tv with a live chatty audience. We are a chatty group. Warning, warning, warning. Will Robinson, chatty group. So anyway, yeah. So if you're watching on YouTube, thanks guys for watching over there. I did get two little things of happy mail. I got this birthday card. I got a birthday card from Mick Carroll in Australia. And look, she did the fish. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. I think I did show it on stream like a week ago or something when she first did it. But look, she said made it into a card. It's awesome. It's awesome. Thanks so much. And then I got a little color page from Marie Lavie. That's how I like to say it. And look, she put all these little sayings all around it. So let's see if we can get it to not flash out, because you know the camera doesn't like white. When I zoom in for the coloring, we'll try to readjust. So she colored this. Look, guys, that's a lot of coloring right there. That's so pretty. And then she goes, Dee Dee, the greatest teacher I've ever known. Well, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. Happy birthday, just saying. Vern, Bandit, light layers, coffee and art in the morning, clutch your pearls. Don't email me. Fussy cut, Posca, wingnut. What else do you see? Bandits guarding the minibar. So thanks, Marie. I know. Oh, okay, Teresa. So she was saying that Hannah Carlson's new book is called Magical Dawn. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Teresa. I know, isn't that pretty? Let's see, I have to tilt it so you can see the colors because that flashes it out. But there's the colors. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. I love that. Thank you, Marie. I love that. So what we're going to do today, and there's also a book called Twilight Garden. For those y'all watching the recording, everybody's talking about the new color books coming out. Aw, thanks, Michelle. They're talking about the new color books coming out. And so, yeah, we're just chatting about those. Yes, thanks. Yes, it's my birthday month, Zoe. Thank you. So I've been getting so many people asking me to continue working in Imagimorphia. So I will probably, let me just drop the camera down, and then we'll probably have to zoom as well. But let's just, so I can drop the camera down. Hang on, guys. I'll readjust it here in a second. Get it down here, and I'll refocus. Let's move this. Well, let me keep this here for a minute while I refocus. Hang on. Let's refocus since we're going to be kind of close up here. Let's see if we can get it. Come on, focus. Focus. Let's see how that does. Okay. So yeah, Imagimorphia. I think I need to be a little closer to me. Hang on, guys. Let me readjust. I don't want my camera to fall. I don't want to do a face plant here. Hang on. All right. I gotta readjust. Look away if you get dizzy. I have to do a little bit of adjusting here so we don't do a face plant. That one's too big. Here, let's do this one. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I have a lot of people asking me to continue working in Imagimorphia. I do washes and I work through this book periodically, and I don't think there's maybe a couple of pages finished in here. But I work on backgrounds, I work on certain images, And then we'll move on to another one. So it's just kind of like working. I'm going to need to lock the light in or something, guys. It's kind of fuzzy. So we'll settle on a page first. So yeah, you can see where we've done different bits. And so some of them just have washes on them and they haven't been shaded yet, like this one. Just got the backgrounds. I really wanted to get all the backgrounds done and then start working on the elements. So yeah, I haven't picked a page or anything. That's how I work in this book. That's how we roll in this one. We got a tiny bit of the mechanicals done on this. And let's see. Got some of the Egyptian one done. Okay guys, it's bugging me. I've got to focus this camera. I've just got to. Let's see about fixing the light here. Got to fix the light with the white. There we go. There. Now we're cooking. Yeah, it comes together. There's, I think someone should do a coloring book of all different currency. The way we know how much money we save, Eileen. Maybe we'll work on the swans, because I do have the background done. I have the background done on the swans. So maybe we can work on them a little bit. What do y'all think? Work on the swans? So. Okay, let's refocus. See if I can get it to focus here. Might need to get out my sherry card. Get out my sherry card, because that always seems to pull the light in, or pull the focus in. There we go. That's a good one, Eileen. All right, so I think we will, because that's what I've been using this book is Prismas. We'll just go ahead and use Prismas in this one. Hey, honey, Jill. And let's see, maybe, do I want to do any other shading with this, or just go with Prisma? Maybe we'll just go with the Prisma, because that's what we've been using on this page. Get some blues and grays. Let's see what we'll do to start. So yeah. So if you're watching, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more in Imagimorphia. Oh, that's browns. I didn't want browns. I wanted grays. Alright, so let's first pick some blues. Let's get some blue grays and just work a little bit on the swan shade. Swan shading. That's too green. We'll go with a really light blue. I got to sharpen. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Thanks everybody for being here. I also want to get it back into some more altered Eileen book. I had so much fun with that last page with the calendars. I love doing my collage. Okay, maybe do I want any indigo, because that will help tie in the background. Maybe that's probably all the three colors I need. Do I need another gray? Probably not. Okay, we'll keep it with these. All right, let me sharpen right here to the side. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Color along, either with this book or whatever book you're working in. Just going to do a little shading. We're going to throw some shade. Alright, we got a little piece of... Oh, you got Laura to buy the full set of Neo 2s? Good on you, Eileen. Good enabling there. Now, here's the question, Eileen. Here's the question. Will she use them or treasure them? Will she treasure them? All right, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to go ahead and go with I have slate blue, I think. Slate blue. This is indigo blue. I always put a piece of tape, blue tape, on the indigo because I always get it confused with the black. You ordered a handful of Luminance pencils. I'm surprised I don't love them. You're surprised you don't love them more? What don't you like about, or what? Give us your review. Give us your review on it. And powder blue. Those are 3 I'm going to start with. I don't know that I'll get, I might get some more. But as you can see, they have the little feathers all in there for you already. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm trying to, y'all, if y'all talk to me, put it in caps. She does love them, Eileen? Yeah, she does love, I know she loves her Neo 2s, but will she use a brand new full set? I love my Neos too. Okay, so let's just start here with some of the, and I'm testing this blue. Yeah, this will be a good blue. So, so many color books have the shading indications for you. So it's great. It's just a great way to practice your shading. I'm going to go under each feather, on the underside of the feather, see? Just to start. Kind of maybe pull it down just a little. And this part, the shading part, is the most time consuming. It's quick to put a wash over everything to get you started. But that gets you started, gets you out of the, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to touch that page mode. Hey, Jean. Crafting Amy adores her Luminance, yeah. I've been using them in the mouse guard, and I haven't had a chance to test them on portraits yet. I just thought they would be creamier. You love them, but just thought, I don't know, I think they're pretty creamy. I don't know. I like them all. And I like the Holbees, the Loomies. I don't have many Pollies. But I'm just used to my Prismacolors. And the Prismacolors is what we've been using in this book. So that's why we're rolling with them today. Because that's what I've been using in here. Because I don't want to use a different... I mean, I could. I would just have to make a note of it. Because people go, well, what color pencil did you use on the Swan page? Well, if I don't put down that I use something different, then I won't remember. I won't remember because we do so many. We do so many color book pages that I wouldn't remember unless I noted it. So in this book, I know for a fact that that's what I've been shading with is Prismas in this book. Can y'all see okay? See, I'm just putting a little bit of, and this, I'm going to just, I don't do speeded up videos. Don't do any kind of time lapse. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't do that because I want people to see how long things actually take. When you watch a speeded up video, for me anyway, if you watch a speeded up video and you go, wow, that turned out great. They just did that in 15 minutes. Well, I know better, but I know better. But if you're watching something that and you think, oh, that didn't take long at all. Never mind that speeded up video probably took you like 4 hours. Hey, TNT. I'm going to keep coloring, and I'll try to keep, glancing at chat for things in caps. So, yeah, what I love about color books, not just the relaxing and making something. A lot of people, they say, I can't draw, I can't do this, and I don't have anything creative. But color books, everybody can color. Everybody can color. And it trains you to shade, blend, see colors, and try out color combinations and all that, as long as you're the boss of your color book. If you get intimidated by it and go, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to ruin that book, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to relax. You're going to be on edge while you're coloring. And what fun is that? So, yeah. So can you see yeah, you can see the difference there. So, yeah. Jean says, exactly. I sped up my last coloring book from the look. People who won't color and shade. Would never guess it took you 5.5 hours. Yeah. Okay, I didn't see your last part yet. Jean, you speeded it up? You've never sped up a video. But I haven't watched the last part though. So yeah, I know. It takes so much longer than you would think if you do a lot of detail kind of like this. Some pages, like when we did in the Polish Carolina Kabałka, if you put just washes of watercolor over that, it almost looks like you're done. So some books, you can do washes over and they look almost done. And then, of course, you all know the difference. No, you said, if you sped it up. Okay, you didn't speed it up. If you sped it up, yeah, people wouldn't know that it took 5 hours. Yeah, okay. I thought you meant on your last part, Jean, that you posted that you sped that up. I was going to say, I've never known you to speed up any videos, Jean. Yeah, yeah, it's true. You wouldn't know that it took you 5 hours to do that color book page, which, by the way, turned out awesome. That's okay. I've got it now, Jean. I got it. Yeah. It turned out awesome. I'm trying to stay like right under the thing here. So it's just a little bit of shading just to make it look fluffy. Fluffy. Oh, congratulations, Barb. Barb W. Not to be confused with Barb Owen, our Barb Owen. Yeah, it really did, Jean. It looked awesome. I have to watch part 2. I've been watching Janet's, where she had the secret stream where y'all made my zine. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Those girls. I'm about halfway through part 1, Janet, watching the zine making, and oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Hilarious. Janet. Just too funny. Too funny. Okay, now we can get back to making fun of Dee Dee. Or she just said getting back to making fun of her. I had to tweet that out when she said it. It cracked me up. And I know Eileen was in the background. No, do this, do that. I can hear her. I can hear Eileen. Trust me. I can hear her. You're working, Honey Jill, you're working in the Jasmine Beckett. Yeah, I know. I need to do, people have asked me to do another page in the Jasmine book too. So many color books, so little time. We try to make the rounds of all the different ones. I'm not bearing down here, guys. I'm just, just really not very much pressure at all. It was fun for you guys. Well, it was so fun. It is fun watching it. And Janet, she just has her head down and writing and writing and writing. That's okay. We all do typos and can't type some days. Trust me, we all do that, right, Jean? Jean has some funny ones. Jean has some funny typos. But seriously, I try to read my tweets or posts when I, online and all that. Before I hit the send button, I try to make it a habit to read before I send, because literally, I'm not kidding, guys. Especially with the autocorrect. Hang on, a sip of coffee. It's amazing what can get typed in and changed. It really is amazing what can get changed. And before I hit send, I mean, literally, I'd say 90% of the time, I have a misspell or an autocorrect in every single tweet or every single post, like on Facebook or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm so glad I read that. Unlike Jean, she just sends. Hi, Sandra. And then we all laugh at Jean. She does that. All right, so I think y'all can see how it's not taking too long, but you know, this is kind of when I can relax and read chat a little better. When I'm doing something like this, because it's not focus intensive or something I can't take my eye away from, like if it's wet or you know I'm gluing something, you know I have to be more right on it. But something like this, I can keep glancing up at chat. So if you're watching this recording, this is a laid back one. And if it's not going fast enough for you, you can always speed it up. You just slide the little bar, and there you are. You're 30 more minutes in. Hey, Linda. You never thought to, you never, I have to, Jean, and I'm glad I do. Because some of those that get sent, some of the tweets and comments that get sent, if I would have just sent it, I probably wouldn't have any friends. I'm telling you. Because the autocorrect's worse than the misspell. You know? The auto select word, you know, they'll select what they think you're saying, and it's usually not what you're saying at all. Okay, so here we go. So here's the one without, well, I take that back. We have done a tiny bit right here. But here's, like, this is what it looks like without here. So we're going to continue on this one too. But let's go ahead and do his little face. I got to sharpen because I want a nice sharp point on that face. Okay, so let's just get in here and do a little shading. Because these are tinier feathers on the face, so I just want to kind of just roll around each little feather just a little bit. You can see the difference that shading makes. But the thing is you have a wash of color, but I didn't wash over it like a solid. It's not a solid blue. You can see I left some lighter blue, a little darker blue, you know, and that gives it kind of like a watercolor appearance. And so when you go over, I know, right, honey Jill? So when you go over it, you've got a base, but the base isn't flat. And you can do the same effect, although on these I did a watered down acrylic paint, and I use Americana craft paint, watered down. I just call it a acrylic wash, which is just watered down acrylic paint. And it's matte. The craft paint is matte. No shine, no gloss, no satin. Because that will resist your pencil. It has to be matte. Doesn't have to be Americana, but it has to be matte. The artist grade acrylics, like in the tube, they have like a binder, a sheen to them that can like resist your pencil. And I've not tried every single one, so if you got one that works fine for you, you know. But I just found that just the little craft paint washes is awesome for is awesome. And I also see I put a little bit of white paint here. I'll probably just use, I think I used acrylic paint on some of those highlighted feathers. I'll probably just use a Posca paint pen. Okay, so let's go ahead. I haven't done either by the crowns yet. So this one has a little bit more depth to it because I have white paint on top of it. So yeah, so if you're using paint in your color books, just craft paint. Just craft paint works awesome to do washes and highlights or whatever. And your pencils will go right over it. And it gives it tooth. It gives your paper tooth. So where the paint is, and I mean, it's not like you can really feel it. It's not like really rough, but it gives just enough of a coating over your paper that your color pencils just really go on well over acrylic craft paint. So that's that's the paint that I used in all these washes when I did the flip through here a little bit ago. On all these pages, that's what I've used is the Americana craft paint. So, and you can just kind of do a little bit of blend in here. Kind of pull that down just a little on his head. But I like some of the white showing in there. So if you have any questions, just put them in caps. Kimberly goes, Jean, I love your Martian talk. Kimberly just, and also, you know, sometimes when you're reading things, you read it wrong. Like Kimberly, when she said that, I just thought, I glanced at it and I thought it said, Jean, I love your martini talk. But she typed it correctly. She said Martian because we call the girls in Canada, especially the ones way out in the boonies, Martians, because they're so far away. We love your martini talks, Jean. What time is it? Are you serious? It's 9:29 Eastern time, Julie, if you're being serious. Yeah, I don't know if you were being serious on that or not. All right, let me sharpen again because I do want a nice sharp point on the tiny feathers. I know, that's what I thought she said. And I do have the seam right here. I do paint right down into the crack of the book there. But I kind of have to give myself a little prop up on this side, or I could put another book under it because it's at the beginning of the book, so it's like wants to push down, you know. So just kind of going with the little feather lines there, just kind of rolling with them. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep that color pencil rolling. No, no, that's lyric. Oh, okay, it's lyrics. Oh, okay. I get tickled with these girls in chat. I'm telling you, if you're watching the recording, you've never been to a live one. Do we still have Abby? Yeah, we still have Abby. Abby, it's her first time in chat, and I hope it's not her last. Sometimes I wonder, these girls come in for the first time and, yeah, we scare them, I think. No, not really. Oh, Chicago song lyrics. Okay, thanks, Julie. I don't think so. I mean, I hope Abby's having a good time or anybody else new here. We try to make the newbies feel really welcome. So if you get made fun of, it's because we love you. Just saying. We love you, Abby. Hey, Dazzled. If you're just joining me, I'm working in the Imagimorphia. It already has a wash of paint from previous show, and we're just going in here right now, and I'm just adding shading. We're throwing shade on the feathers. And then my eyes get to water. Then I can't read chat 'cause my eyes are watering from laughing. And again, this one I've already done some kind of a little demo with some white paint or something. Because, you know, if somebody goes, well, what will happen if you do this? Well, we do it right then. We don't mess around. We just go for those demos. Dazzy. Yeah, I like that. And hi, Jennifer, by the way, J Love. I think I said hi to Yee. Dazzy. I like that. Oh, good, Kenny. Good. Glad you feel welcome. We try to make everybody feel welcome. We try. But I gotta say, guys, I do miss a lot in chat, especially when it rolls by and you don't put it in caps. So if I miss something you say, don't get offended because I might not have seen it. You know, because I am working here. I am working here, people. But if you put it in caps, I am. Then I realize you're talking to me, and I'll be more apt to see it. Oh, Jess. I'm sorry, Jess. Yeah, thanks, Jean. Yeah, I'm sorry, J Love Jess. Jessica. I don't know why I said Jennifer. Why did I say Jennifer? I probably said it before that, too. I know it's Jess. I don't know why. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jess. I just like calling her J Love, but. Yes, I'm throwing shade again, Teresa. So just working down the feathers here. Just putting a little shade under each one. And, you know, the lines are already there for you, and there's shading kind of indicated for you. Not on every single feather, but it gives you an idea. And color books just help you, especially if you think you're not creative or you've never drawn or never really done anything. Everybody can color. Everybody can color. And you're the boss of your color book, so you can do it whatever you want. But I do tell you, if you do put wet medium on it, make sure you dry in between because the layers, because water will pill your books, and the water is what causes things to go through. So if you do any kind of washes or water medium, no matter what thing you're using, make sure you dry in between so that you can put lots of layers with the dry in between. So Joyce is not streaming today. Her voice is out? Okay. Thanks, Jean. I don't know if we were trying to trick her head Janet into going on at 1. So if y'all can trick her head Janet on, let me know. Because, I don't mind I've streamed all day. But I like to make sure that, other people aren't streaming too. Yeah, everybody's saying healing hugs to you, Joycey. Okay. Let me think about what you can do to entertain and amuse. Okay, Janet. I'm working on some commissions, so I got 2 here that I'm working on. So whether I'm watching Janet or somebody else, I'll have something to, because I do still want to finish watching the zine stream where where y'all did the secret stream. So yeah, I'm watching that. I'm just kind of shading here, guys. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just kind of following along. Give it some feather depth. Do feathers have depth? Yeah, I guess they do. Maybe after I do a little bit of feathers, we'll do a little bit on the goldfish. Because, see, I did color them all in with a wash. All the goldfish. I think I found them all. I hope I found them all. And Janet is Monkey Island Madness. Links are open. Feel free to put your links in if you're in the chat here and share your stream or your YouTube or whatever you do, blog, whatever. Oh, and let me remind you, if you're watching this and if you watched my birthday haul, my art supply birthday haul, I am giving away for the YouTubers or anybody watching the recordings, I'm giving away one of Bennett Klein's sketchbook color. It's Color My Sketchbook, the first one, and you have to leave a comment on the blog. And I did make that clear in the video, and I did put a link in the description box under the haul video. But if you need to know it again, it's Inkywell, INKI, blogspot.com, inkywell.blogspot.com, and go just say happy birthday or whatever you want over there, and you'll be entered to win in the drawing. It's just a random.org drawing to get the Bennett Klein Color My Sketchbook 1. But you have to leave a comment over there. It's the only way I can keep up with comments for a drawing. Because if you comment here, there, and everywhere on my YouTube, I have no way of knowing if you're, part of it. So you have to go over to my blog. Just makes it easier for me, guys, when I do YouTube drawings. Anytime I do a YouTube drawing, it's going to be on my blog, just for ease of not missing anybody. That way I don't, miss anybody, because I'd hate to miss anybody that commented. And so it's open till Friday. And what I'll do is then I'll close it on Friday, and then I'll write everybody's name down, number them, and then on Monday we'll do a drawing. Yes, I'm doing Imagimorphia today, Kim. Yeah. had lots of, well, not tons of requests, but a few requests saying, when are you going to get back to Imagimorphia? And I do that. I get it with Jasmine Beckett and all the, when are you going to get back to this one? And I try, guys, I try to do as many different color books as possible. But there's a lot of them, right? Hey, Dot. There's a lot of color books, and I only stream 2 at the most 3 times a week. So, yeah. All right, so now I'm going to kind of find some of the feathers. Now I'm going to start working into some of the background here and try to find some of the feathers that are like in the background. It may be easier if you do like the leaves first and then you're left with the background. It might be easier to see. And because if you try to find everything, sometimes you kind of get lost in there. Because especially in the Imagimorphia and Animorphia, it's, it's tricky business finding things sometimes. And Mouse Guard. See, everybody goes, get back to Mouse Guard, So, yeah, I do want to get back to Mouse Guard because I want more luminance, or as now we're calling them Loomies. I want to get back to more Loomy pencil coloring. And then I also, have a couple books set aside for the Holbeins, which I'm calling Holbees. So we have the Pollies, the Holbees, the Loomies, and the Prisma. So I'm just kind of going in here and finding more feather. It's all where I'm coloring, guys. It's almost all on top of the lines that are already there, right? It's already shade lines are already indicated for you, so you can't ever say you can't color because you can. Thanks, Kim. Yeah, and I enjoy coloring everyone. I mean, they all have, depending on what I'm using, I could be using neocolors, watercolor. These are all acrylic wash paint, washes of acrylic paint bases with Prismacolor. They're all fun, but there's only so many hours. There's only so many days that I stream, because the days I'm not streaming, I'm working on commissions. So, yeah. And trying to develop new things to do with the Copics. I am working on some of that. So hopefully next week, I'm hoping next week I'm going to do something with Copics. But, I have to have time to do a little experimentation and a little practice. Because I'm never, I'm not saying I've never picked up a Copic. I don't mean that. But, I don't really know anything about how to use them other than what I've seen Cameron use. So, yeah. And, a couple of, I see people online doing it too, but I didn't really pay too much attention to techniques online because I had no plans to really do Copic. So I enjoyed watching the results of what they do, but wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to, do they layer this one first or that one or, anything like that, because I had no plans to do it. And then I thought, I have an idea what I want to do with Copics. And so I have to learn Copics before I can incorporate my plan, my ideas. I have to know enough about them to use them in the way I have in my head. So, I have plans, people. I have ideas. And speaking of ideas, we need to probably do another show on the idea notebooks. I have a feeling that there's a lot of you out there not writing down your ideas. Y'all know I'm big on that. Writing down your ideas. So we probably need to get out some of those. I think I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 5 and a couple of smaller ones. But I have at least 5 notebooks over there with ideas going in them. Oh, and okay, all I saw TNT is, and the copies. Oh, the copy. You're going to call them copies? Copies? Yeah, we could call them copies. Yeah, the Pollies, the Holbees, the Loomies, the copies. But anyway, like I said, I have something planned in my head, but I don't know if as I say, let's see if we can pull it off. I have Melody. I wrote it down because I keep forgetting. I have set B in the originals, the square ones. I have set B in the originals, and I have set D in the sketch. And then I have a lot of random chows too. I got the skin color chow set and some others. And I also have bought a few other individuals. So, yes, idea notebooks, right, Julie? So those are the sets that I have. Let me show you the ones in case people don't know what the difference is. Hang on, let me see. Let me grab 3 here. And I've also trying to stock up on a few of the refills. These are the refills. I haven't even opened it yet because I don't need it, but I've stocked up on a few refills too. But that's what the refills look like. But let me show you the different ones. So there's this one, and let me get a sketch here. So, and I have my own book. See, now we're getting off on a Copy rabbit trail. Okay, so I made my own little book here. Although I do have the Copic like book that that they put out for you to put your own in, but it's so tiny, guys. That's so hard for me to read. So I made my own a little bit bigger in this book. So for instance, let me show you, like here's my blue violets in sketch. So every time I get a sketch, then I put, here's the sketch. See how it's oval? So I made ovals. I made ovals for my sketch pages. And I did this with every set, like blue violet. So the blue violets, if I have the color in the original, which is the square, these are the originals, on how to color your Lappy keyboard color. No, I'm not going to do that. I am not coloring my Lappy keyboard with Copies. And Jean says you can also use the refills the same way people use alcohol inks, like on Yupo paper. Yeah, thanks, Jean. So these are the originals, and they're square. So not only do I have the blue violets, I don't have any chows in blue violet. Okay, so here's the blue violet, and this is in the sketch. See how they're oval? Now I know we're zoomed in so close you can't read that, but. Then if I have any blue violets in chow, which I don't, but the chows are these. Okay, they're the round ones. So I made circles. Then if I have any blue violets in the originals, which are squares, then I make a square. And I've done this with everything. So like violet has 3 pages. Red violet has 3 pages. Red has 3 pages. Yellow red has 3 pages. Yellow has 3 pages. Yellow green has 3 pages. Green, 3 pages. Blue green, blue. Everyone has 3 pages. Earth, here's all my earth. There's my chows in earth. And see, then here's my earth in sketch. You see, so how I'm doing that? Here's my earth in originals. So I'd make a square for the originals, an oval for the, you can also, okay, an oval for the, yeah, my own, yeah, and see, then I just write my own numbers. Now, I did not put the names. I didn't put the names. I just feel like I don't really need the names written down as long as I have the numbers, because this is for my own, record keeping. And then the chows are the round ones. And now let me just quickly show you what they each look like. So here's the chow, they're the round, and on this one they have the brush, and they have the chisel, okay? On the sketch, they have the brush and the chisel. So these essentially have the same tips, but one just holds more ink, and they're kind of cool. They're just like cool, And then the originals have the chisel and the tiny tip like this. So it kind of just depends on what you're going to use them for. They all at least have the chisel. If you want like a major, like a background thing, then you can start blending with the brush tips. So I'm just collecting them. Because art community. No, Tariel. I still use my Americana paints. I still use my everything. Yeah. I like to, trust me, I use all of it. So, But anyway, I have a plan. I have a technique that I want to try with Copics. But I got to practice it and see, see what I want to, if I can pull it off. Let's put it that way. But I have some copy techniques planned. Okay, so let's get back to our swans here. I think, well, from the sketch and the original TNT, it's because of the tips, right? And the chows that are a little bit, the round ones compared to the sketch are cheaper. Yeah, they're cheaper. And from the original to the sketch are different tips. Okay, so yeah, so trust me, we have plenty of different projects and different products that we've used over I think I'm close to 650 videos. So, yeah, it's not like we haven't done a lot of stuff here. So it's not necessary. Well, I don't know that it's necessary to start with any. Oh, just because you mean because they're named A, B, C, and D. No, what you have to go by is the colors. I like the set. The original set B has all the grays in it, and I wanted all the grays. So that's why. But if you don't think you're going to use grays a lot, then you probably don't want to get sketch. I mean, you probably don't want to get, hang on. Let's not confuse everybody. I have the original B set, B, here, I wrote it down. Here's what I have. B in the original, which are the square ones. Okay, these are just pushed too hard on my pencil, hang on. And then I have set D in the sketch. And then I have a lot of just chows and random ones that I bought individually. Have lots of random ones I bought individually. Oh, wait, what? A place without a... Tar Heel Trees, I don't know if you're talking to me about that. Walmart? I have no idea. I missed the Walmart comment. Sorry. Totally missed that. So this is what I have in the sets. But I also have like the I think it's 6 colors in the chow. Let's see. Where is it? I have all kinds of charts and things I'm making here, guys. All kinds of practice things here. This is the one I have with the skin tones. If you're going to start and want skin tones, I would recommend this right here. This is what I would recommend for a skin set. And you can get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a couple grays down here for another something. But these 6 colors you get in the chow set. And you can get these like at Michael's and use a coupon. It's still not cheap. I mean, a set of 6 I think at Michael's is $35. But I used a 50%, well, Hubster bought them for me, a 50, or maybe it was a 60% off coupon. So use your coupons and get these smaller sets like this, right? You don't have to buy the big sets, which are very hard to find. I got to tell you the truth, guys, I could not find the sets. I could not find the sets anywhere to buy. I got these 2 from somebody getting rid of their Copic collection. That's how I got these 2. I could not find them to buy anywhere, and I tried everywhere. All the art supply stores, all the places that the Copic girls talk about to get them, they're all sold out. Maybe, I don't know how often those places restock the sets. I have no idea. But I could not find the A, B, C, or D in original or sketch online. So, but I did find somebody that was getting rid of their Copic collection, so that's how I got these 2 sets. So just FYI, they are not easy to find. Unless somebody's got a secret stash somewhere I don't know about. But I couldn't find them. I couldn't find them like at Blick or any of like, some of the Japanese name. And I don't can't even think of the names right now, guys. I have them all written down somewhere. Where you can buy Copics. They're all sold out of the 72 sets. Oh, you're up in the savings thing. Ah, yeah, Pat. Yeah. Hey, Bonnie. Anybody else popping in? So let's just get back to a little bit here. We had our Copic rabbit trail. Oh, that's a. I'm trying to. That's a little. Some kind of little pineapple or something there. I've never used the Spectrum Noir, so I can't tell you, Bloom. Although I have seen, here's what I do. This is all I know. This is all I've seen. Is people say they run out quick, and they're not refillable. The Spectrum Noir, I could be wrong. I'm just telling. That's the gossip I've heard, that they run out quick and you can't refill them. But again, don't quote me. I'm just repeating what somebody else told me that does know about them. I've never used one, never even picked one up as far as I can remember. Not used them at all, so I can't comment really. Yeah, now I do know this, Terry. Here's the thing about buying Copics on Amazon. You better be buying from somebody that you know has bought from them. For one, they can really jack the price up. I've seen Copic sets of 72 for like $800 and up. That's not the price they are, guys. So you got to be careful if you're buying any on Amazon. I would find somebody I know that has that's bought from Amazon, because for one, you don't know if they're how they're used. Are they new? How old are they? I mean, I wouldn't want to buy a set of Copics that somebody's had for 10 years. I know the person that I got my sets from that was getting rid of them. So you got to be careful. Yeah, Honey Jill says she got a set from Amazon. You know, you just have to know who you're buying from and how much they really cost. So like go on Blick and see the prices of what a 72 set really cost, even though they're sold out, you know. But you can see the price of them. And then go on Amazon and don't pay $900 for a set. Just saying. Oh, okay. So Yi said that the Spectrum Noir are refillable if they don't have the brush tips. That's what Yi just said in chat. I'm just working and chatting here, guys. I'm just finding the feathers here amongst all the, you know, Kerby Rosanes has all these little creatures and little items hidden in his pages. Right now, I'm just concentrating on just getting some dark on and finding the feathers, which this may, you know, not be your cup of tea to watch. So just fast forward. Yeah, Uzak, Denise, that was one of them. They were sold out too. Uzak was sold out. They did have good prices, but they did not have any sets. So yeah, the 72 sets. Everywhere I looked, all the 72 sets were sold out. Every place. So yeah. And they may have restocked. I guess you just got to like jump on it, you know. If you see somebody sell them, you got to probably just jump on them, because apparently they sell out quick everywhere. So yeah, so you can just buy the individuals with coupons or the smaller set, like the skin set. I would recommend, if you're going to do any, you know, faces or anything, to buy that, you know, just buy the Chow skin set with the coupon at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Yeah. Yeah, and again, you got a good deal there, Honey Jill, but again, I would recommend, this is just me, I would not buy from a random person that didn't have good ratings or good comment back, you know, feedback, because you just don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't want to spend all that money and not get, you know, you won't get a bunch of dried out Copics. Restocking takes a long time since the Copics. Yes, I know they come from Japan. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know if you can get on a waiting list over there, Denise, at Uzak. I haven't really researched it. They didn't have the set, so I moved on. Just saying. So, yeah. But they're not cheap, and I just never have been, really into markers of any kind. Even when back when I had my Prisma markers. I never used them. I gave them all to Cam. And he, of course, used them, then used them up. And then since then, he went on to Copics after that. And that's, he loves his Copics and color pencils. All right, again, guys, I'm just kind of trying to find some of the feathers. And now it's kind of going into the waves here. So I'm going to stop right at this point on this side. So you can kind of see where we're finding. And this is just the first layer. I'm also going to go in here with the indigo blue. I checked when I was looking for them for my birthday, Denise, and they were out of stock. And I haven't gone back yet since I got the others. So I'm going to go in here in some of these feathers and put some indigo blue in some of the darkest, some extra dark depth. I'll just do a few here just so you can kind of see. Because I want to show, obviously we're not going to finish this, right? So I want to show you how to progress on all of it. But I'm going to put the dark. So let me just do some of these feathers here. I'm going to go over what I just did with the medium, the slate gray blue. Now Cam will start sharing. Well, I don't see them. I hardly don't see them very much, especially during the school year. They're so busy. I just don't see them very often during school year. We have to usually meet up somewhere and go have lunch or something. But just to, I did get to hang out with them a little bit week before last. But yeah. I want him to show me all his tips. He showed me a few. I meant you should check if they have check and see if they have a waiting list. Right, Denise. Thank you. Yeah. Check and see if they have a waiting list. Yeah. So I've just been buying them like when I went to Blick, the actual store this last Saturday. My birthday tradition of going to Blick and then the Varsity for onion rings. See, I'm just trying to get right here in the little points, guys. Like just in the darkest area. See, just the tiniest little bit in the dark areas. Because I don't want to get it real dark, but there's going to be some real dark shadows in there like that. I did get a few at individuals. You can buy, at any art supply store. Now, not Michael's and Hobby Lobby. They have a few, but they don't have a big selection like Blick or, Jerry's Artorama. And of course, you can get them online individually too. But what I like is, when you can use coupons. Like I got that set of skin tones at Michael's for, I think it was 60% off. So, yeah. We love our coupons. So, and I really don't, I don't want to buy any more until I see what I might need. Because I haven't played with them enough to know, you really need this red. And I don't have this red. Well, I wouldn't know that I need that red or whatever color until I'm using them and I go, I need this red, So, it'll be a collecting as I go and as I need kind of thing. And, I just want to do something different. Because I have a plan in my head of what I want to do with them, a technique. But I have to practice my technique a little. My favorite color is Tuscan red. In anything, Jill, I like Tuscan red too. If you mean like in pencils, yeah, I like Tuscan red or sienna. I like those colors. I just call them my Renaissance Old World colors. I love Payne's gray or a blue dark, a blue gray, a blue gray. I like Tuscan red or a sienna. and yellow ochre. I love those combinations together. But I have to always make myself not use them every single time because I like them so much. I want to use them on everything. That's why you see a lot of my collage has those colors, because I love those colors. So I'm just kind of getting a little bit in some of those where it would be really dark. Can you kind of see the difference there from these to that? Just a little bit more, just a little depth. And of course the bigger feathers are going to have more, you know. And then some of these places in the background here. Again, sometimes it's easier on like these Kerbys or some of these real detailed kind of color pages that if you do all the leaves and all the fish and do all the foreground kind of creatures, you can see what's left. Because some of this is kind of hard to say, is that a feather? Is that a, you know, it's kind of hard to tell on some of them. In Prismacolor, yeah, yeah. Don't get me wrong, guys. Me and Prismas are long-time friends. Long-time friends. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of get in there. I hope you're able to see. I'm trying to stay back on the back of the pencil so that, you know, you can see where the pencil's going and stay in focused. Looks like the store has the sets. Okay, let me just write that down. I can't go click on the link right now. Thank you. Oh, let me write it down. Thanks, Denise. Okay. Bye, Scooby. Thank you for stopping in. Enjoy whenever you see your grand. Enjoy. I guess you're not babysitting the pup now. Pup sitting. Like our Carrie. She's still watching her old man. And when I say that, I mean her dog. Don't email me. You're going to get those, yeah, I'm not sure how you pronounce them. The Biano watercolors. Yeah, I showed this I showed this set of watercolors. I mean, we're zoomed in, guys. We're zoomed way in. That I got on Amazon. Yeah, I showed those completely when, on the haul. Showed that on the haul video. Okay, let me get in here. I don't want to miss these last few dark areas with the feather. Just trying to stay in camera here. So I hope everybody's enjoying whatever artistic endeavor they're doing today. Okay, I need to go back to my gray blue because I have a couple feathers right in here. I need to just... I missed when I did the original. Just a little bit there. They're starting to fade into the whole body here, so I just want a little touch of the blue, gray. No, the 50, Scooby said, no, the 50, is it a 50-pound, 6-month-old pup is gone. We'll start babysitting in March or April. Bye. Bye, Scooby. Alright, so, yeah, I'm liking this. Get a little back in there, a little bit in here. I want to do some other of the layers that the whole thing will have. But all right, so this is what we've done so far right here. And this is what it looked like before I started adding shade right here. Now this I've already got some on. I don't have the dark blue here. But I I don't have it any of the shade here. So you can see the difference between that and that. That and that. And now what I want to do is take the lightest blue I have, which I think is just powder blue, and then you can kind of blend everything together. Now I don't want to lose all the white, or barely covered wash, but I want to start kind of blending everything in with the powder blue. I don't use any kind of blender pens or pencils, although I have tried the one that comes with Lumi, the Lumi blender. And that of all the blenders is the best one I've found, is the Lumi blender. But again, I'm just not used to using blender pencils or any kind of oils or mineral spirits or any of that. I do all my blending with pencil. So, not that there's anything wrong with it. Don't email me if you use mineral spirits or baby oils or any of that stuff. I just don't do it. I don't enjoy that process. I don't like the oily rings and it goes through, and it's just not for me. Just like I don't like to fixative anything or spray anything. If I want to, make sure something is permanent, if it doesn't take a varnish, it doesn't get permed. Like I can varnish my art journal pages, my art cards, my collages and stuff. I can varnish those. But that's to the extent, and acrylic paintings. I don't do many acrylic paintings anymore. But, I would varnish those. But I don't, nah. Yeah. You like your Derwent blender, Jean says. And she uses it mostly for backgrounds. Yeah. See, it just, it just depends on what you like and what you get used to and what works for you. I like blending with pencil. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just kind of blending this out. It's not a lot of work here. It's just a nice little roll of light blue to blend all the other colored blues together. And you may not even be able to see that much on camera. It's very subtle, the blending part here. But I wanted to show you what I do, the whole process of, a section here with the feathers. And I'm not bearing down. Even though I'm blending these out, it's still it's a little bit heavier than the initial, but it's not heavy-handed, because if you go heavy-handed, you will not be able to blend. Once the pencil gets all waxed up, there's no blending anymore. You can go real dark with something on top, but there's no more blending. Once it gets all waxed up. Know what I mean, Vern? And that's with the wax pencils, not, the oil-based ones. Yeah. We weren't allowed to use them in art class when you were... I guess you're meaning you weren't allowed to use any kind of mineral spirits or blending tools, Amy. I'm thinking that's what you meant. Yeah, I have used the Luminance blender, the Lumi blender, a little bit. But it just, I'm still loving just blending with pencils. Jean says you're still not great with your pencil pressure. Yeah, less is more. Lots of layers. Lots of layers. You got to, the thing is because it takes more time. It takes more time to do lots of layers. Teresa says her shopping list is Zig markers, Copics, Neo 2, watercolors. Yeah, I know. Oh, so many supplies, so little time. So again, I'm just going over the dark blue, over the medium blue, and kind of blending, feathering it out. But not pressuring. No pressure. It's best to do it, color 10 times. Then just go, and get it done once, and then you're done. And there's no more blending. If you want to have blends, you got to have soft layers. And it just takes time. But this just blends them all together because they move, you know, they move. No blending agents, had to learn to work our pencils to their full capacity. Yeah, that's how I feel too. But that's just, you know, if you're just wanting to just do your color book page and you don't really care about getting good with, you know, your pencil blending, you know, I mean, of course everybody wants to get better with their pencil blending and everything. But it just depends on how much time and energy you want to dedicate to any medium, right? Any of them. But you don't want to make it stressful. If you're just coloring in a color book to maybe learn a little bit of techniques, be creative, have some downtime and relax, don't let, you know, don't stress out over it, for goodness sake. You know what I mean, Vern? Okay, so there we go. So we got those feathers. But if I see a spot, like let's just say I see like right here, this could be a little darker. See, now I can go back in and add more. And then I could go back with the medium, add a little more. Because I can layer it up because I didn't put a lot of pressure. Then I can go back with the light blue and blend that again. So, yeah, you can keep building blocks. And the same thing here. Now let's go back up here with the head of this one. I'm going to get the indigo. And I already did start it here from another previous show. I can see where I kind of started. But I want to do enough here where I can show you where we're going to go in with some Posca. And if you don't have a white, you know, a Posca, then you can just use, and I think actually I did use a brush on this. I probably just used a small brush. But white Posca, which is acrylic paint, or just your craft paint on a brush, a small brush, to add the white, the final little white feather flips. But you have to get all this done first. That little white accent on the top has to be like the last thing. Oh, I mean, I can go in between here and add, but it's more tedious. It's best if you use that for the last result, and then if you need to shade just a little in between, you can go in there and shade with dark. I hope that's making sense. Did I miss something Marilyn said? Hey Laura, how's it going? Laura got the Bennett Klein Dragon and did one of those. Mine should be in this week, so we'll probably color in it next week. But Laura did an awesome job. Laura, you should put your link in there. Okay, so again, I'm going in here, and I probably need to sharpen. I want a nice little point on these tiny areas. And just get in here with some of the darkest blue, the indigo. On just a couple up here, especially where it's really light. I don't want to get too much shade in there. I want to keep that kind of light. But down here, it looks going to be darker. Jean says you always make sense. Well, most of the time. That's what Jean said. Well, most of the time. So I just want to get in here and some of the little darker. And then we'll go in and blend it out. It may be kind of hard to see. Let's see, maybe we need to refocus again. Because, you know, all the moving around, it does affect. Where's my sherry card? I always say that. Where's my sherry card? Let's get it. There we go. No, it looked awesome. You did a great job on that. I don't know that you finished it on stream, or maybe I just saw part one, maybe. And I also heard there's a rumor, Laura. There's a rumor going around that you got the Neocolor 2 full set. Well, I don't know if you got a full set, but you got a larger set. You got a large set of Neocolor 2. And we were talking about you behind your back, just saying. And we're hoping you are going to use them and not treasure them. Yeah, Jean, you're awake today. Yeah. We're hoping, Laura, you are not going to treasure them. that you are actually going to use them, because we know your polys are locked up tighter than a drum. What did Dot say? I missed something Dot say. I ordered the big set. Okay, all right. So we don't want them to go the same way as the polys. The polys have not seen the light of, well, I can't say they haven't seen the light of day, because you do have them in a nice pencil case, and you pop open that case every now and then. So they have seen the light of day. You are going to use them. Okay. We're holding you to that, Laura. We are holding you to that. Yes, we are making fun of you. No doubt. There's no doubt. We're not denying it. We are not denying that we are making fun of you. All right, so I'm just getting in some of these little, in between the little feathers here with the indigo, just a little dot of it, and then I'll blend it out. I want to at least get one swan here done so that I can add the Poscan so you can see. And you can do the Posca. Maybe I'll just use a brush. Maybe I'll just use a white acrylic paint and a brush. It's just some white acrylic paint is all I'm going to go for. You can use some white out if you want. Yeah. But anyway, Laura did. What's the name of your site, Laura? Art Anxiety. What is it again? Your YouTube channel? Because I have a bookmarked Laura's Anxieties, and I know that's not the name of your channel. But that's in my favorites, just so I can find it, so I never have, like, if I have Gina's, like, if I say sassy, nobody's going to know Jean's channel, so that's why I need the exact name. She will throw away her ink tints now. Now, yeah, Laura goes, think again, Eileen. She's not a big fan of ink tints. Most of us all like ink tints. I mean, I'm not saying it's my favorite, but Eileen just really just has something against ink tints. Anxiety Art Adventures. That's Laura's YouTube. Anxiety Art Adventures. And she just finished coloring a nice Bennett Klein dragon. So y'all go peruse the awesomeness. We don't say check it out here. I mean, every now and then we slip and say it, but we try not to say check it out, because there's so many other ways to say something is, you want to go tell someone to go look at something other than check it out. So we say peruse the awesomeness. That's how we roll. So I'm just kind of, hopefully y'all can see me just continuing on these feathers here, but this is how long it takes. You're welcome. If y'all are talking to me, make sure and put it in caps. I'm paying more attention to chat today, because this is not a lot of thought. I'm not having to really, or wait, get something done before it dries or something like that, where I can't look at chat very much. So, but I still like if you put it in caps. The background killed the dragon? I should have left it white? Okay, see, I haven't seen that part. I just saw it up to the part where you were working in the gray border. You were doing 2 shades of gray around the border, Laura, with your Neo colors, and it looked awesome. So I don't know I haven't seen part 2. Or did you do a part 2? Did you film it? Or did you just not let us see? Yeah, we have to see the mistakes too, girl. So we know not what to do. Oh, I don't know if you filmed it or not. But then that's why your show's called Art Anxiety Adventures. Oh, you can all peruse the awesomeness. Yeah, put your link in there. Put it in there, Jess. Links are open. Y'all are all welcome to share your awesomeness. Share your awesomeness. Oh, you colored the background black and you didn't like it, or what happened? Because I know you printed, because you bought the digital, and I know you also bought the original too, but you were working on a digital download and you printed it out on heavy cardstock. So what's the problem, Missy? What happened? I know it's not, your page didn't wrinkle. I posted the finished image on Twitter and did not film it. Ah. Okay, so Jess is saying her dragon looks wonderful. She just thinks it's bad. Let's just take a look. Hey, we're going to call her out. Where's my phone? Oh, yeah, baby. We're going to go look at it right now. Right now. Let's see. Let's look up Laura here. Let's find Miss Laura. All right, let's see. Let's see. Now, she's already working on another picture. She's working on the dog. Ah, here it is. All right, I'm going to send it over to my iPad. Hang on. Just one moment. It's not, I don't know what she's talking about. Hang on. Let me send it over, so that, because if I put my phone under here, it's going to flash my camera out. So, let's just do that. One moment, please. I'm still here, guys. But we're calling out Laura. Just saying. We're calling her out. Alrighty. Let's see here. Let's crop the edges off of the Twitter feed. Alright. Hang on, guys. Take me just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. So, if Bennett Klein is around, we're going to call her out. We're going to call her out. Let's see here. Oh, hang on, guys. I lost where I was saving it, because I got to mail it to myself. I got to mail it to myself. All right. Just a minute, because I know Jean always says, cloud it, but Jean, my cloud's full. Just saying. My cloud's so full it's raining. My cloud's full, Jean. I don't want to buy space. I need to clear out my cloud. Let me title it Laura here. Okay. I need to clear my cloud. Yeah, Laura. Okay, now let me go over here to my iPad. I've got 4,000 pictures on my phone, Jean. Probably getting close to 5,000 pictures. I have plenty of, that's one thing. I bought the phone with the most, I think 120 gigs on my phone. So I got plenty of space. It's not like I'm running out of space. But it doesn't send to my iPad automatically, right? Since I ran out of cloud. Dee and chat seems, hey, your lucky day to get here. Yeah, thanks. Well, thanks for being here, Teresa Crafting Chaos. All right, here we go. Here, let me bring it up nice and large. All right, here we go. Here's Laura's dragon. Look at the awesomeness that is her dragon. Nothing wrong with the shooting stars in the background. Well, it's not, wait, there's the color better, guys, because it's wanting to flash out, right, when I lay it flat. Look, see, there's the color. Look at that awesome dragon. If you don't follow her, go follow. Laura can put her link in there, but look at that. That's awesome. Again, the colors are not, nice and vibrant as her original, but here's what I'm saying. I like it looks like he's moving. You know when you get ready to go to warp speed, and you're just getting ready to go to warp speed, and you're just taking off, and the stars just barely start to, go away because of the, you're moving through space. That's what it looks like. You're just getting ready to take off to warp speed. Just saying. Yeah, I know, right, guys? Jess says, I ran out of clouds long ago. Yeah, me too. But I have plenty of space on my phone, and I do save I do email myself, and I print, have things, I have pictures and things on my laptop, my hard drive, my I have it on my phone, my iPad, my laptop, my desktop, and then I put them on thumb drives, and I also have an external hard drive. So I got something saved somewhere. Somewhere, something is saved. Okay, let's finish up this video. I forgot where I left off now. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty. All right, let me go back to the, now sharpen up the light blue and do a little blending. And then we're going to add some white. Don't feel, oh, no, it's awesome. We love to share the awesomeness of the group. Don't be silly, girl. Don't be silly. Don't get art anxiety. Don't get art anxiety, Laura. So I'm just kind of blending out some of the dark. And again, if you find that you need more, just go back and add more. I am going to have to go get some hot coffee, though. My throat's starting to get dry. You're giving away the dragon book? Oh, you're giving away, you're an original dragon book? Oh, well, that's nice. I haven't got mine yet, so I can't give one away. But I am giving away, guys. If you missed it earlier, go to my blog, inkywell.blogspot.com, and I'm giving away the first Bennett Klein book, Sketchbook 1. Okay? You don't have warp speed in Germany, Karen? Good one, Karen. These Americans, we don't have warp speed in Germany. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You've seen enough, Star Wars, Star Trek, when they take off on warp speed and the stars are just starting to fade. Good one. You have 2 copies, so you can give one. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Well, put your link wherever you want everybody to go and do that. I guess you mean at your YouTube. I'm giving mine away via my blog because it's easier to keep track of everybody that leaves a comment. Because sometimes people leave comments on one video or another video, and then I miss somebody and I can't find them, and they'll go, well, I left a comment, on that video a week ago. Well, that's not the video. So that's why I do it on my blog. So if you want to be in the drawing for the Bennett Klein book, you have to go leave a comment on my blog. And I don't have that many followers over on my blog. It's no big deal. It's just, it's just easier for me. You don't have to follow me on my blog, but you do have to leave your name. If you don't have an account, a Google account or something, at least leave your name so I know who you are. If it doesn't, don't just leave an anonymous comment, because I'll have no way of knowing who you are. So, yeah, and only one comment, because if you duplicate, and sometimes it does get duplicated, somebody will comment and it doesn't show up right away, so they'll comment again. Well, I just get rid of the duplicate. I just get rid of the duplicate comment. And then what I'm going to do and you can leave a comment through Friday. And then on Monday, I will, over the weekend, I'll make sure there's no duplicates. I'll number everybody that left a comment on the blog. And then we'll do a random.org, and somebody that's left a comment on my blog will get the Bennett Klein Sketchbook 1. Somebody just said something about their polys are in their new home, but I didn't see who that said that. It rolled off the screen. Was that you, Kangaroo? Were you talking about your polys? Sorry, I was concentrating here and I didn't look up until it rolled off the screen. So yeah. All right, so here I am, guys. I'm just going back and trying to do a quick little blend. In all those little dark areas. I'm just kind of feathering it out a little. You don't need a lot of pressure. It's picking up the dark blue and pulling it down into the medium blue. So yeah, if you'll talk to me, put it in caps, okay, guys? So I know that you're talking to me, because otherwise I'd have to read literally every single sentence in chat. There's no way I can do that. And do a project. Even though it's a kind of a simple one today, and I am able to read more chat than normal, but yeah, it's tricky to read chat when you're doing a project. You put your polys in there. Ah! Oh, Suzanne put her polys in her new house. Good. Now, make sure that they come see the light of day. Kangaroo. I mean, Suzanne. Suzanne said she put her polys in their new home. Well, don't do like, don't do like Laura did and put them in their new homes and they never come out of their home again. I don't think she's ever used her polys. Okay, I think that's good enough for me to now move on to some of the white painted things like I've started right here. Now again, this one has not been, see how there's no dark blue in that? We had just the gray blue shading, but look what happens when you add the dark blue. See the difference? See where we just put that little touch of dark blue between the feathers? Look how much more it pops. Dark blue, only the mid-tone blue. You have used them, Laura? When? Did they have a birthday or something? You pulled them out and used them on their birthday? So this is what it looks like when you add just that little, see that little dark blue? See what that difference that makes? So compare that to here, see? I mean, this looks pretty, right? It looks pretty, but look how prettier it looks when you add the dark, that little touch. That little dark touch in between the feathers just makes it pop. And we're only using 3 colors, guys. We're using the powder blue, the indigo blue, and the slate blue. These are the only blues we're using. 3 blues. Get a lot of shade. We can throw a lot of shade with 3 blues. Suzanne says all our pencils will have new homes. You have 5. Suzanne's got 5 new pencil cases. I'm afraid it's not going to be enough with all these enablers around here. I know, Suzanne, and we're not apologizing. I'm sorry, we're not. I'm sorry, we're not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, Eileen said that Laura made a few swatches with the polys, so they are used. Eileen. Yeah, she did. Yeah, that's right. She did use them to test. She did use them to make a swatch test or a comparison. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, so there we go, guys. Let me tilt it a little so you can see. There we go. There's more of the true color there. It is a little flashed out line flat, but there we go. So there's it with the blue and there's without. Okay, so now we're going to get out the white paint. Oh, you did? I must have missed that one. So she said she did use it on an enchanted forest. Okay, I missed that one. All right, so now I'm just going to get out. Let me just get a little, I just use a little, you can see how zoomed in we are. I'm going to just get out a little white paint. Let's see, that's butters. I want pure white. Let's see. That's bleach sand. Where's my white? I am almost out of white. I need to get some more white. And again, I just use Americana Deco Art. This is the new logo. This is the way they look now. Here's what they look like. This is kind of what they looked like before. They didn't have the Deco Art on there, but they're the same paint. Just have a little bit different logo, but you have to make sure. Do not get satin or gloss because the pencils won't go over it. It doesn't say matte on here, but it doesn't say satin or gloss either. So don't get those because their pencils won't go over it. Kangaroo says, I'm being strong and not buying all different pencils. You gave in to Bunny and bought pastel pencils. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. All right, so I just need a little bit because I'm just going to do this one swan because I haven't done the dark on this one yet. How long have we been here? We've been here an hour and 31 minutes. Okay, I wanted to do a couple different things today, so let's see. All right, let me get a nice little small brush here in my brushes. Kind of be a flat would probably be good. This one might be too big though. Let's see if I have a small flat. This one might be a little, see how it's flat? I mean, it's probably a filbert, but, you know, let's see. I don't want a round, is what I'm trying to avoid. I want a flat or a filbert. because I want those feathers. Well, wait, let me look in this pile. I have all different piles of brushes and just little jars. Ah, here we go. Now we're cooking. See, this is what I was looking for. The smaller of the two. And we are really zoomed in. Dee Dee, how did you get the stars on the background? The stars? Splatter. This is splatter. Well, then, of course, I did this. I mean, I drew that and I put pencil around that. But this is splatter. Pencil, see a little pencil around that? Splatters. Do I need to show you how to splatter? We could get Jean to show you how to splat. Just kidding, Jean. Don't email me. Okay. I'll do some splatters in a minute. I'll back up for that, though, so I don't splatter on my camera. Okay, so I just want, it's dry paint, and what I mean, there's no water added to it, right? All I do is get my brush wet, and then I damp off my brush on the paper towel, so there's no excess water in the brush. So there's no water in this paint at all. No water in the paint. When I say dry paint, I mean no water, okay? So what I want to do is I just want to start doing some little feathers on top here. And because you've already got all the shadows and everything done in the back, they'll still pop out, right? And this brush might be too flared. I think, see how the brush is see how it's flaring out? Those little hairs. I need to cut those off. So let me get my scissors. Let me trim my hairs here because I want it to stay where I put it. So I'm going to trim a couple hairs down here. I think I got it. Okay. And you can still go back in after this is dry. Oh, the wash on the swans. What about the wash on the swans? Is just acrylic paint. Just acrylic paint wash. Okay, so now you can still go back in here even after, and you can do this with a Posca if you don't feel comfortable with the brush. Use a Posca or a white Sharpie paint pen or something like that. Okay, so I've already done some right here previously, but you can always go back in with the dark blue and just, get a little extra little dimension if you need to. But I tried to get as much of that done before I came to this stage, right? And you don't have to do every one, and don't do them all the same size. Do them random so they look more natural, they'll look more real if you don't have them all the same, right? Like, don't line them up like little soldiers. Just do the random one here or there, especially like where the highlight would be, like maybe here in the front. It's going to be dark, light, more highlight here with maybe just the random one. You just see how that little bit just makes a difference. You don't have to do every single one. Oh, she was asking if you did the star splatters. No. No. What I do when I splatter is like let's just say I'm going to splatter here. I just kind of go like this and just kind of just use my hand. But you could kind of use a piece of paper to mask it off. I don't care if it gets on there. I'm going to color over it anyway. But if you get a big blob, if I splatter and I get a big blob on there, I just wipe it off, But I just kind of mask it a little bit with my hand. I just want to do a few random ones here, just to make it look a little bit more dimensional. I'm just going to kind of stand back and look at the whole thing. I think I need one more right there. So I'll show you the other one when we get the other one that's half done, when I get done with this one. So yeah, it's just a little touch, just a little pop of highlight or brightness. And you don't have to do every one. I mean, you could do the occasional one back in there, but let's kind of keep it, random. But if you have water in your brush, these are going to they're going to be they're going to wash out. They won't be that pop of white. It won't be this bright if you have water. Because what's going to happen is when it dries, it's going to dry faded, you know, it's going to fade out. It's going to like fade into the pencil. You need it solid white, no water to get this kind of an effect. Okay? All right, so now let me rinse my brush out here. Poor Laura's going to pass out. There's a hair poking out of her. I cut it off. I cut it off, Laura. It's all good. All right, so here's what we have now on this side. And actually could use maybe just let me go back in here. Let me dry my brush well. Could go in here and maybe add just a couple up here on the his head too. But no water in the brush. You got to really damp off your brush. You know, pat it off onto paper towel or something. Maybe there's a couple sticking up. So you can do this. All right, let's just say our swan might need a little haircut. Maybe there's a couple hairs flicking up like that. You're the boss of your color book. So let's put a couple little... Same thing on the top of his head. Let's go ahead and do a few little flicks up there. Okay, so let's do that. Now I'm going to show you the two different ones. Laura's probably cussing me out right now. Okay, so here's with the the wash of acrylic paint, which we did that on a previous show. Then we did the medium blue, which is slate gray, and went in around every feather. Then we went in with the dark blue and just kind of like got in some little crevices and blend out with the powder blue. Then went over it with the white feathers. Night, Marilyn. Thanks for being here and thanks for all your nice comments on YouTube. Marilyn is so awesome on my YouTube channel. Always saying, everybody subscribe, everybody like. It's so awesome. Thanks so much, Marilyn. I appreciate that. And then after that, now that we put the white on, if you need to, make sure it's dry. But once it's dry, you could get in there and maybe, you know, put a little bit of shadow here and there if you see there's too many bunched up or something. You can get in there and do a little touch, okay? So here's what it looks like. And we haven't done the beak or anything, or nothing else, just the feathers, right? So here it is. And this is what it was with this is just the medium blue. This is just with the slate gray. This does not have the dark blue or the powder blue or the white paint. So here's the difference. Can y'all see that? This isn't bad, but just taking it that one step further. That one step further. All right, now let me go ahead and back the camera completely out. And let's refocus. Where's my card? Where's my scenery card? So there. So you can see the whole double page spread. Oh, thanks, thanks so much, Marilyn. So and you can, you know, there's a bit more of the color. So you can see how far we got with the feathers here compared to here. See, here. And it's just using 3 blues. That from this. And I'll do the exact same thing on this side that I did here. Yeah, thanks guys. So there's, you know, there's a little bit further along. Now let me hit this with the heat gun, then I'll turn the page and we'll splatter something for Laura. All right, heat gun. I just want to make sure it's dry before I close the book, you know, change the page. All right, so, uh-oh, there went my heat gun. All right, so let's find a page here that has a dark background that I could add some splatter to. I don't really want splatters on my King Kong, so I want that to look like, you know, fire and stuff going on. I'll do a little flip here. I'll just kind of flip, and when I come to a page that we can add some splatter to. So I'm doing, you know, backgrounds, and sometimes like here I used a gold pen and just drew the little stars in with a gold pen. Okay, here, we'll do this. We'll do some stars on the back of this elephant. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just take that white paint, and this is where you do water it down. Take a spray bottle and water it down. And I like to use a brush that has some fluff to it. In other words, like, let me find one here. Like something like that's kind of floppy like this. Doesn't have to be a liner brush, but it's best if it's kind of floppy because then it kind of splatters better. But do this after you get, it's like inky consistency. It's like ink, right? Do a little test. See how big those spots are right there? Just try to splot some off on your palette first because there's a lot of paint in that brush. We love our flips. Yeah, I'll finish flipping through here as soon as I do this, okay? So it's best to kind of test off some of the splots. Get rid of some of the excess paint on it. Then I'll come over here. Now, I don't want to get anything on here, so let me get a piece of paper here. Let me put this here. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of cover up the ears. And again, lightly splotching. It gets on your hand. I don't care about that. Laura might care about that. I don't know. So I'm just going to splot and just kind of keep going around. And if it feels like I got too much, just tap it off onto your palette over there. Okay. So here. All right. So now I got the splots all around. If I get a blob, I'll just wipe it off. Okay. So then what I'll do to do a star scene. Yeah, like our flips. All right, now I'm going to dry this. Let me pick my heat gun up off the floor because you don't want to do pencil and stuff when it's wet, right? So now I'm going to dry that. And sometimes, depending on how big the splots are, it can take a minute to dry because they're thicker, you know, they're blobby, you know. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll take sometimes an orange, a blue, a different color, and a white, which I need my white pencil here somewhere. And I'll take the white to do like streaks, like a shooting star. So just like that. Because it's not as harsh, let me put a couple on here, like let's say there's one more here. And to me, 2 or 3 is all you need. You know, now yours was you were going to warp speed, so it's a little different in your case because you were taking us to warp speed, so you had a lot of your stars moving around. I just like a couple. But then if you take a pen, let me get a lighter. Let's go with the light blue, just so it'll show up better. And you can do a little bit of just that much. That's all you need. Just take just a little flick around the shooting star. Let me get up here because I'm not zoomed in. So you can just do a little. It just looks like it's breaking through space. See, now that one wasn't dry and I smeared it. Okay. Bye, Tar Heel Teresa. Do not mind paint on your hands. Okay, good. Then, if you want, I'll do an orange because it'll show up. You can do some, let's get a bright orange. You can do some nebulization. I call it nebula, where you make some nebulas. You actually had a sandwich with painty hands? Oh my gosh, I'm going to tell. Thanks, B Ghost. And then if you want, and again, I'm not zoomed in, so I'm going to kind of hold it up here. You can do kinds of, just kind of, don't do it hard. Don't just, and just do it kind of random and just a little bit like that. Maybe it's not showing. And you can do a couple different colors. Like I like orange and blue. It shows up nice. But you can do, but make sure that it comes behind your items. Like don't just like stop it right there because it's not going to look, it won't look natural, if you will. But I'll just kind of put some random stuff like this, it just kind of gives it more space look. can kind of just look at it and tell where it might need some more. But again, all your stars need to be dry, and I'm hoping mine are, because otherwise you're just going to be smearing it, right? So, yeah, something like that. And you have a space scene. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Now you can add some planets if you want. You know, you can make your own little, let's see where we can do one here. Let's do one right here. And then you can just do let's do a little bit of a planet here. Then let's go maybe on with some indigo. I'm just going to make it a little, go with a couple shades of, to make it a, and you can do this in, you know, any kind of marble. I've used marbles, you know. And then we'll just take let's go ahead and make this like a Saturn ring. Maybe something like that. And if it doesn't show up, then that's where you got to get your paint or your Posca. Let me get a Posca. Let's see if this one's working. I got to open a new one here. Something like that. It's a little crooked. I got my little ring a little crooked, but you get the idea. So you do stuff like that, you know, maybe have a little highlight, or you could even have a, maybe there's a star glow on an edge, like that. Something like that. You can always, you know, add a few more. If you want a few bigger stars, you know, go in here with your Posca and add, you know, add where you think it didn't splatter enough for you. Going like that. So yeah, that's just, yeah, Planet Dee Dee. So yeah, okay. So there we go, guys. Now let's go ahead and do a little bit of a flip for the rest of the page here. And you can see where we've got different things. Like this is just washes so far. What I wanted to do in this book, and we did it on one Saturday, I spent 3 hours just doing all the washes in the background, and that's all. I'm in my teacher voice, yeah. And then so here I wanted this to look like smoke coming out of the steam pipe there on the train. So we just took a white pencil. That's all this is white pencil. It's just flat gray acrylic paint, and then just went in here and, you know, just did some smoke rings. And yeah, and then I just added that white all the way around all the creatures to make it look like they were in the smoke. So all these creatures, see how I did smoke all the way around, and I need some more little detail here. I need a few little extra curls of smoke and, you know, tighten it up. But that way, hey Ranja, I wanted this to look like all these creatures were coming out of smoke. But most of these pages, guys, have just bits done. Bits done. Like here. See, I just got a little bit of the mechanicals done on there. But I have a whole wash of blue-gray over the whole thing. Dee, can I send you a piece of coloring I've done and give you some constructive criticism? I can. I don't... email it to me, Melody. Email it to me. Yeah, email me, and I don't like doing like public, because I'm going to tell you. Ask any of the girls. Ask any of the girls that have sent me something and said, Dee, what do you think of this? I'll tell you. So email it. Yeah, email me, Melody. I'll tell you. But I'm nice about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go, oh my gosh, what a crap something. I don't do that, guys. But I will tell you, and it's just what I would do. It's just my opinion. It doesn't mean that it's my way's the only way or the highway, right? It's just how I would do it. But again, realize that, guys. If you ask me what I think of something that you email me, I'm going to tell you how I would attack that problem or what I would do. But that doesn't mean it's the only way, right? So just saying. Yeah, well, yeah, I've only done, and again, I've only done a little bit on each page because I want to show the different techniques. Here we just did some random glow around the little bugs, but I'm not done with them. I'm thinking I might want to go with now some, white, even more glowy. So maybe some more orange in there. But these are they're all in process. There's a couple pages done, but for the most part, they're all in process. Because that's how I feel. Because this is one of the books I want to finish from start to finish. I do want to complete this book at some point, but I know myself, if I try to go from just page 1 or, finish a whole page before I move on, I won't finish it. But if I do a little here and a little there, then I know I can do it. I can finish the whole book if I do that. You don't ask because you don't want to know. Jean, you're honest, Sassy. You're honest. Well, and that's true. Most of us are harder on ourselves. But I'm just saying, if you want to know, for instance, Laura was asking about the stars. I just showed you, how I would do it. Is that the only way to do a star background? No. But, I'm just telling you, I'll tell you what I think could be, how I would improve it. That doesn't mean, again, guys, doesn't mean it's the only way, right? Just so you know. But like Jean, if you don't want to know, don't ask. But, yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. So these skulls just have, see how it's all modeled? This is kind of, I think this is a, what kind of maroon color was this? Was this heritage brick? This might have been heritage brick watered down. But you see how I try to keep it a watercolor look? I like that look before I start putting pencil on. Okay? I leave all that. I like it that model-y look, that watercolory, non-flat look like that sometimes. Now in the backgrounds, I like it a nice flat, but that's just me. But you see how it's all different there? I like that. Okay, this one, all we have is, and again, it's wanting to flash out, guys. Hang on. I don't know what happened right there. This page just has a lot of white in it, I guess. I don't know. Let me go back to this. Let me try to lock. Let's see what I can do about my light here because it wants to flash out again. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get the light to. Hang on, guys. Let me find something. Where's my? Let's go back to this. Let's get my light blocked in here. There we go. I think that might do it. Yeah. Oh, there it goes again. So it's just the white paper, guys. But yeah, the blue. It's just going to keep changing as I turn the page because it's wanting to focus on the white no matter what I do. Here you can see we've worked on the little dolphins, and I wanted to make them, the penguins, I wanted to make them look like they were breaking through the water. So let me get a purple. So what I've done is kind of go and, make it look like they're kind of breaking through the water. Can y'all see that? And then kind of ghosted it out like on the purple paint. Oh, sorry guys, it's really driving me crazy. There we go. Now if it would just stay there. Let's see what happens when I turn the page. Because there's the color. Now let's see what happens when we turn the page. Oh, I think I hear my mailman. Okay, so this one I did finish completely on this side, and I did not color the little creatures on here on purpose so that you could see the difference. This is all stickles. That's all stickles on there on top of the spider web, and I just love the way that looks. I love the way the stickles are just getting out of this truck. So, isn't that awesome, the way the stickles makes that? Again, just a background. Some mech moths, which I've only done, and again, I wanted them to look kind of like they're going. Zzz. Yes, I know, I do that sound every time I show this. Zzz. 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 So the way that I imagine that looking is like this. Kind of like they're just like, you know, buzzing, you know. So again, this is just the wash of green over it. No mechanical shading in there yet. This one I'm going to do an underwater tree. So the tree is going to be underwater. This is eventually going to be all waves. This is all eventually going to be waves that I'm going to work it out with waves, but I haven't done that yet because I want to get some other things on here first. But all this is all going to have like a wave effect here, like ocean. And same thing for around here. It's all going to be curly. It's going to be wavy. So yeah. I'm buzzing, but yeah, it's like vibrations. That's what the word I was looking for, Jean. It's like they're you know, they have vibrations. You know. Okay, where's my, wait, where is it? Hang on. I know I got, where's my electric? Hang on. Yeah, like that, Jean. And then here's a deer, and we started doing a little bit of the tiny little details in this horn. You can see some of it there. We got some little details going in the horn. And we've worked on this one a few times. There goes the light again. Hang on, guys. Let's try it again. Hang on. Just get it like that. Come on. It's not wanting to focus on this. Too light. Okay, here we go. Can you kind of see how we've done a lot of orange and blue on this one? And green, lime green dragon. Here I wanted this to look like you were looking down in the dirt. So I'm doing all kinds of like real model-y looking dirt, and I'll probably splash in some brown. Well, let's do that real quick. Splash in some brown to make it look like maybe some petals and stuff. Let me see, where's a dark brown? Here we go. Oh, that one's almost out. Maybe get some more dark brown. Here we go. Well, it's black plum, but it'll do. Hey, Julie P. Yes, coloring sound effects. All right, so I'm going to just get a little bit. Where's my water? Oh, here it is. I'm going to get a dark color here. Where's my floppy brush? And I am going to kind of hold it up a paper. Where did I put that paper? Did I leave it in here? I don't want to get anything on my computer screen, so I'm going to kind of block it here. But I'm going to splatter because I want it to look like dirt and stuff in there. I'll hold it up when I get done. Let me just go ahead and splatter. And if it gets on something, I'll just wipe it off. Because I want it to look like you're looking down into a forest floor. Hang on, guys. I'm going to block off anything getting on my computer. So, something like that. So splatters can be for more than stars. They can also be like in the waves, the wave foam. You know, when a wave foams up. So yeah, so you can kind of see So you can do the same kind of thing and do rocks, pebbles, dirt, sea foam. It all does the same thing, but now I got to dry it. Hang on. And again, all I've really done is just wash in the bunnies in different colors. There's no shading or anything yet. Well, except on that one. We did do that one. But you see how some speckles got on the mushroom? I don't care. But you might, if you care that it gets anywhere else and you want to mask that off. Yes, splattering works awesome. But if I don't get it 100% dry, it's going to, when I close it. So, give me a second, guys. Let's get this dry so I can go show another page. Okay, I'll just, let me get a piece of paper to put in between. Because that way, got some scrap paper here somewhere. All right, hang on. Let me find a piece of something. Just so I don't splat, stick the page together for one thing. So let me just put that in between there. Okay, so then we have the blue background here. And then I got a wash of blue on a lot of this here. That doesn't mean that's all going to stay blue. I can add browns and copper and all kinds of other colors on top of the blue. But I have that blue base to work with, right? Okay, the shark, I have the fish breaking through the water. Here's the little turtle, so you can see how the light blue. So there's that. Again, all he has is a wash on it, no shading yet. I'm trying my best to do big chunks in these pages, so I finish them, right? And that is magenta, hot pink magenta that's not showing up. I think I got it. Maybe let's go back. Play with the light again. Let's brighten it up just a little. There we go. There you go. You can kind of see it. This one I haven't done anything to. Nothing. Okay, this one I did I did a full wash over all the birds. And then I did go in here with the brush. Now this one was a little tedious. I went in there with the brush and painted the background the turquoise with a tiny brush. Okay, so I'm going to kind of have it fading in so you can see how I've just kind of pulled the paint in like that because I want it to look like they're breaking out like that. So, and then here's some jellyfish. Again, just with the wash, nothing else done. Big lizard or a Komodo dragon, just some horses. And again, see how I just did a wash over there and didn't worry about getting out of lines? Because I know I'm going to paint this background, so I don't care if it gets out of lines. I'm going to paint the background. So why be fussy in between every one of those hairs when I'm going to just paint the whole background? Snow leopard. This one I wanted to show you when you can use gel pens on the tiny bits. So this one I just used 3 or 4 different colors of gel pen to do those tiny bits. You can either use gel pens or like your Crayola super tip markers. Always check to make sure your marker is not going to go through. I found that I don't have any problem with super tips going through any kind of a decent weight paper, but always test to make sure if you're using any kind of mark. Of course, alcohol-based markers are going to go right through, right? You have to be fussy because you can't do backgrounds. Ah, okay. You probably could, Bunny, but it just takes more time. So anyway, on the tiny little trees, I just went in here, and some of them are glitter gels. I don't know if they're going to sparkle for you, but some of these are glitter gels. So I just went in. This is another way to approach a page, is go find all the little things of the same thing. Okay? Like I went in and I did all the trees and a little bunny. But I went in here and found all the trees and colored them. I think I had 3, maybe 4 shades of green gel pens. Okay, do you know? Crayola has a fine tip watercolor marker. I just like my super tips. I like them. But yeah, I know that they do have other watercolor markers. Yeah. So, but this is all gel pen because some of this is very, very tiny. So if you need something that tiny, then a gel pen or a super tip marker, either one, are good for that. This one, again, what did I do with, this is marker. This is marker. And then just the camel, just has a wash on him. No shading yet. Email coloring. Oh, okay, thanks, Melody. I'll look at it after the show. Thank you. Again, there's a whale tail. Didn't care if it got out of lines. Just did a quick wash on it because I'm going to do a background. Same thing, and I probably did this on purpose to show you. Look, I went all out of line. It doesn't matter if you just put a wash over the whole thing if you're going to color in the background. Maybe I'll take a minute to do, because we have a little bit before it's 2 hours here. Well, no, we're right at 2 hours. I used to think I couldn't paint backgrounds either. Now I do it all the time. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how some of us are fussier than others. I'm just picking on you, Bunny. Here's some seashells with all kinds of, stuff coming out. Again, just one wash. Some has, a little bit thicker paint and a little bit more watered down. But don't get it, you have to water your acrylic paints down or you won't see the lines through. If I just use straight acrylic paint, you're not going to see those lines. So you have to water it down some, at least. And then here I added more water. So I like that watercolor look, right? You're welcome, Samurai. I know that's not her name, guys. I like to call her, I make up my own names. Here we just have some slugs. Again, not caring if the background gets paint out of line. Here's where we did some different tests. Which was the toothiest, which was the slickest. The Koi watercolor, the Crayola watercolor, the Canson, that was the toothiest, along with the Lowe's Cornell from Joann's. Here's some gouache, a cheap set of gouache. So we did a little test on that. Here's, again, just a gray wolf. See how it's all out of lines? It's all going to be painted out. Whether black, brown, blue, a dark color, I don't know yet. Same thing, here's the eagle, a wash of brown. Horse, wash of tan. And then there's all the hidden things that are in the book. So let's go back over here. What one did I, was it the owl I think we're looking at? So y'all got any questions or anything? I'm doing this one all in different parts and stages because that way I will finish it. If I try to finish a full page, in this case, I'm trying to finish the whole book. I am trying to finish this whole book. So if I do it in a little bit at a time, we'll get her done. I use acrylic calligraphy ink for background wash and solid, and it has a good tooth too. It didn't ruin the paper either. Yeah, and I am going to say, guys, when you're doing large washes, like these animals, most every page is a full, it's a big animal. If you put a wash over something that big, it is going to wrinkle your pages a little. I mean, it's going to warp them a little. I don't want to say wrinkle. It's not putting wrinkles, but it does kind of warp your pages a little. Let me find one that has. But I find that by the time you add all your pencil and everything else on it, you don't hardly see the warp at all. But let me see if you can see on that one. See how it's warping just a little? But it's not wrinkled, you know? It's not wrinkly. It's not like wrinkles. Can you wash with water? Again, the reason that I think the acrylic paint, I like to use acrylic paint washes for these big areas. You can use watercolor for smaller areas. Like let's say I wanted just to do his head. I could put watercolor on there and no problem. But I always tell you, especially with watercolor mediums, dry between layers. If you try to saturate this with watercolor and water, it's going to go through. Not because of the paint, but because of the water. But when you use acrylic, watered down acrylic paint, it's almost like coats the paper. It kind of coats it, so it prevents it from the water going through as quickly. It'll still go through if you oversaturate. But I found that the acrylic washes don't go through as quick because it's like coating your paper, right? It's like coating it with an acrylic wash. So it kind of prevents the water from seeping through as quickly. And it's all going to depend on your color book too. Some of the pages, like a Bennett Klein, are very thin. This is a little thicker. So, you know, you got to test. Yeah. So you can use watercolor washes, but I would recommend if you're doing a big on thing like this, that acrylic washes will not tear up your paper as quickly. But I always recommend drying in between. You know, dry in between, because it's the water that peels up. It's the water that breaks down the paper, right? Okay, so let's see. Where's that owl? I want to go back to this owl. And we'll just work on it for just a minute or two. And when I do backgrounds, I like no, not washes, but flat paint. Sorry, guys, I froze up for just a second there with incoming mail. So I'm still thinking I want this in my head. I'm imagining that maybe he's flying away from a tree trunk. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this background a dark brown. I'll paint it a dark brown. I'm almost out of most of my dark browns. I need to buy some more dark browns. Here's one. And then what I'll do is I will put, whoops, sorry guys, I kind of squeezed out a lot there. With my scissors. Make it look like a tree trunk. So let me see what size brush I want here. I want something a little bigger than that, for at least for a start. And I like angle brushes, or because I can get it, they can have a point to them. Let me see if I got a decent one right here. This one's not too bad. Oh, that one's all crusty. Let's throw that one away. I try to make sure my brushes are really cleaned out by the end of a session, but sometimes I miss one. Okay, here we go. All right. So this one's a little bigger than I want, but I just grabbed it. But I like angle brushes, because angle brushes, you have a point on them. Okay. So I'm just going to do this real quick here. So, and I'm going to have to turn it. Let me move some of these pencils out of the way. And the heat gun, so I can have room to turn, because I want a straight angle, right? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going, oh, wait. We got to put something behind. I don't want to glue my pages together. There we go. So you can see where the page ends. So if you put something behind, you just go right off the edge, right? Not worry about it. So I'm going to go in here. And some paints, some acrylic paints, like certain blues, red, lime green, are more translucent, and you might need 2 coats. For the most part, I don't need 2 coats, but every now and then certain paints like blue, certain ones you might need 2 coats. But for the most part, I found that just by scrubbing like this and kind of getting it kind of thick, that it'll cover the whole, it'll cover in one coat for most colors, right? Most colors. All right, now this brush is probably going to be a little too big to get in some of there, but I wanted to get the top edge. I want to get the top edge of this owl. And if you keep a wet brush, the paint is wet enough to keep moving it along. And just kind of go around that feather. And if y'all, I might be missing some stuff in chat now that I'm kind of concentrating. So put it in caps. There's a couple little floating feathers there. All right, so I'm going to get as close as I can. Then I'll go in there with a tinier brush on right along the edge of some of it, or in some of those little crevices like that. So we'll just do this for a couple minutes because we're almost out of time here. I think it's about 2 hours and 20 minutes is about what you get before you get cut off. And, I mean, I can always start another one, but I'm not to do this. Hey, Mel, how's it going? All right, so I'm going to move my paper over here to this edge. So again, I'll get a smaller brush to get right up on some of that. If this was a new brush, I could probably get in there, but you can see how flared out it is. How flared out it is. Hang on, guys. Let me see if this is... Still with the tour, guys? All right, so I want to just at least get all the edges done here. So I'm just going to go all the way around with my paper in between there, see? So I can get right up to the edge. I'm going to use up this brown paint here. But there's no water in this paint, so it's thick and opaque. But even if you do this with certain blues are still a little translucent. So it depends on, you might have to put 2 coats of certain colors, but this is really thick. I mean really opaque, my brown is here. All right, so now that I've got all the way to the edge of all of it, I can move that paper out of the way. And come back up here. Let's get up here in this crack. And it is going on the other page, but I'll worry about, you know, whatever color. I don't even know. Maybe it'll be brown. No, it'll be blue because it's water. But I'm not really worried about it because I'll just paint over that. All right, so let's just, again, I wanted to kind of show you how the tree trunk thing I have planned here. So let me just keep... Now, see, oh, still hanging on the velvet rope. Julie Topaz. Wait, one of the bouncers, please let Julie Topaz in. Yeah, I don't know. I never know on Fridays if I can stream on Fridays, usually till Thursday night. I don't ever really know if I can stream on Fridays until the last minute. I hate to do that, but, you know, it is what it is. So that's why I say the occasional Friday. Every Monday, most Wednesdays, and the occasional Friday. All right, let's see. I can get a little bit more paint in some of these big areas here. It's just so quick to do it with a big brush as far as you can take it. And then we'll go. See, it's not taking that long, is it? All right, now let me get a smaller brush here. Okay, it's just a little flat. And now I'm going to get in here. And you don't have to hurry. I mean, I am kind of hurrying here to get this. You know, if the recording ends, thanks for watching, everybody, on the recording. I'm just going to keep working here for a few more minutes. Let's see, we got trying to see, we're already at 2:20, so it's probably going to, you know, end in a minute. All right, so then let me just not do this the rest of this right now, because I wanted to show you how I'm going to do a tree. So let's just get right where I'm going to have to go over it with pencil. And I'll do the rest of the sides here later. But see, I need to get in here in between every feather here with a smaller brush, because he's got kind of like mechanical wings. They're kind of pointy. Some are arrow shaped. There's different shaped wing because it's mechanics. He has mech wings. And then there's little bits flying off, some little screws and bolts here that are flying in the air, which I'll probably put like, you know, floaty color pencil around to make them look like they're moving. All right, so let me just go ahead and get up here around his head. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it today. I don't know, did Janet say she's streaming today? Janet, have they trick-or-headed you into streaming yet? All right, I got to get a little bit more close to the body here because the tree trunk, the demo part is going to come right down through the middle of him. So I have to have the background done here too. So let's keep rolling here for just a minute. So yeah, I wanted to show y'all how I'm going to make the whole background look like it's a tree trunk. But I will have to finish painting it all to do the whole tree trunk, but I can show you a start. So let's get some of this right up next to the owl's body here. Okay, I think that's enough where I can hit it with the heat gun and show you a little bit. I still have to go see all this. I still have to get in between the wings, but I literally probably have 5 minutes. So let me dry this. I mean, I can stay here with you guys. If the recording ends, I can stay for a few more minutes, but I'm not going to do another recording on just this little bit. We'll continue it on another Imagimorphia day. Okay, so Janet is going to stream. Yeah, it's only 11:30. Janet usually streams at 1, but she says she's going to stream after me. It's just that my time, you know, the Ustream gives you about 2 hours and 25 minutes before you have to start another one. So I don't want to start another one here. So, all right, let me get a white, a tan. Let me get a couple colors here. A tan, a cream, and maybe a sienna color. Let's just test these. I don't know if this will be good enough, but yeah. And I did miss a little bit up here. See, I need to paint that some more. See right there and right there. But I'm not done with the sides yet, but I wanted just to kind of, now I'm going to take a cream color, and I'm imagining the whole background, right? The whole background is one big tree trunk. But I'm not going to do much over on the sides here because I've not finished painting. I want the brown's got to be painted in first. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of start kind of making this look like a tree. And if you don't know what one looks like, you know, just get out a reference. Look what a tree trunk or some nubby tree wood looks like. I'm just kind of blocking it in here. I'm going to have some nubs and, you know, all kinds of thing here. Because I want it to be like a tree trunk. Okay. I'm going to carry it straight on down. Straight on down. Just kind of following my lines straight on down. And just kind of do that. Hang on, guys. And see, you can see here why I can't finish that because I'm not finished painting this. So I'm going to kind of stick with right here in the middle. Okay. Because I want to make it look. So I've just kind of got it blocked out a little bit. All right, now I'm going to take another couple shades of brown. Okay. And you can start color penciling in wood. I don't know if anybody watches Oak Island here. Keyword wood. All right. So let me kind of hold it up. It's kind of hard to see. But I want to kind of give it a barky look because I'm not going to bark. But I'm just going to kind of get some blocked in here for you and take more, you know, I would take much more time, but I just kind of want to show you where I'm going with it. Okay. And then I'll get a dark, dark brown and black. Oh, here's this is dark brown, I think. Yeah. That may not be dark enough. Let me get black. And do some more detail. And shade and blend and other things. But I just want to kind of show you the idea. See, I want it to be a wood grain. Now that light color's too light, but I can go over it with a like the sienna here. Just kind of show you here. Just to knock it back. Knock back the beige color that I kind of planned it out in. So this will knock it back. See where we're going with it? That's kind of where we're going with it. Like a tree, close up, real close up tree. You know? And that will continue down all the way. And the whole background will be like that, from end to end. But I have to finish painting in between those feathers first. So yeah. So I think that's going to be cool, right? Maybe some mist floating across. And how I do that is, let's see, do I have any white left here? Let's see. I'll just pick some up on my finger just to kind of show you. So then, because this is my plan for the page, but I don't have time to finish every single thing. But then we can mist. So we can just kind of mist across here. And this would be at the final stage, guys. This would be after I need a baby wipe. I'll just do a tiny bit just so you can kind of see. So let's roll out some nice soft white, and so you can make him look like there's, and I'd have this white coming right across him too at the end. So we can do that. So there's the where I'm going with it. Okay? That's where I'm going with it. But I've jumped ahead, as you can see, I've jumped way ahead from finishing the brown. So I probably should take some of this off because I still want more wood grain. I want to get more wood grain in there before I do the mist. So, yeah. But, okay, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Thanks for being here again. Let's put a piece of paper in between here. And we've been working in Imagimorphia by request. I had people going, get back to Imagimorphia, please get back to Imagimorphia. The baby wipe is wet. Every time you see me use a baby wipe, it's always wet. Always wet. And I use the Huggies Natural. But they're damp. Yeah, they're actually wet. They're right out of the box. Every time you use me, I don't ever use a dry baby wipe. Never. Oh, I will never say never, but yeah, my baby wipes are like right out of the box wet. Whether it's something like I just did or my Collage, mixed media. Yeah, they're always wet. That's a good question, though, B Ghost. Thanks for asking. That's a good question. Yes, they are always wet. So, okay, guys, I am going to head out. I will make me a sandwich or something. Try to get over to Janet's and finish. I was going to work on my. I'm working on some portraits and some commissions, and I was going to watch the rest of Janet's zine show. But since she's going to be here live, I will go watch her live show and watch the zine show later, along with falling asleep to Jean's show tonight. I watch Jean's recordings, and she watches mine too, and we fall asleep to each other's show. All right, guys, and so yeah, I'll try to get here on Friday, and just watch for a tweet. Or if you follow me here, you might get an email notification if you have that allowed. But yeah, I've just started coloring Johanna Basford's calendar. You made me buy. Well, make sure you post pictures. Make sure you post pictures. Mary's calling for coffee, so I'll be back in time I'm done, but yeah, if you say Jan will probably be there around 1. I mean, this recording's not going up for another hour or two, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I was just saying, Steffi, I never know if I can stream on Friday till Thursday night. So, yeah. I like to, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Y'all have a good afternoon. You're welcome, guys. And we'll talk to you later. Okay, welcome everybody. Coffee and Art on Wednesday morning. Thanks for being here. I'm Dee Dee. You're watching a live show on Ustream.tv with a live chatty audience. We are a chatty group. Warning. Will Robinson, chatty group. So anyway, yeah. So if you're watching on YouTube, thanks guys for watching over there. I did get 2 little things of happy mail. I got this birthday card. I got a birthday card from Mick Carroll in Australia. And look, she did the fish. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. I think I did show it on stream like a week ago or something when she first did it. But look, she said made it into a card. It's awesome. Thanks so much. And then I got a little color page from Marie Lavie. That's how I like to say it. And look, she put all these little sayings all around it. So let's see if we can get it to not flash out, because the camera doesn't like white. When I zoom in for the coloring, we'll try to readjust. So she colored this. Look, guys, that's a lot of coloring right there. That's so pretty. And then she goes, Dee Dee, the greatest teacher I've ever known. Well, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. Happy birthday, just saying. Vern, Bandit, Light Layers, Coffee and Art in the morning, Clutch Your Pearls. Don't email me. Fussy Cut, Posca, Wingnut. What else do you see? Bandits guarding the minibar. So thanks, Marie. I know. Oh, okay, Teresa. So she was saying that Hannah Carlson's new book is called Magical Dawn. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Teresa. I know, isn't that pretty? Let's see, I have to tilt it so you can see the colors because that flashes it out. But there's the colors. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. I love that. Thank you, Marie. I love that. So what we're going to do today, and there's also a book called Twilight Garden. For those of y'all watching the recording, everybody's talking about the new color books coming out. Aw, thanks, Michelle. They're talking about the new color books coming out. And so, yeah, we're just chatting about those. Yes, thanks. Yes, it's my birthday month, Zoe. Thank you. So I've been getting so many people asking me to continue working in Imagimorphia. So I will probably, let me just drop the camera down, and then we'll probably have to zoom as well. But let's just So I can drop the camera down. Hang on, guys. I'll readjust it here in a second. Get it down here, and I'll refocus. Let's move this. Well, let me keep this here for a minute while I refocus. Hang on. Let's refocus since we're going to be kind of close up here. Let's see if we can get it. Come on. Come on, focus. 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 Let's see how that does. Okay. So yeah, Imagimorphia. I think I need to be a little closer to me. Hang on, guys. Let me readjust. I don't want my camera to fall. I don't want to do a face plant here. Hang on. All right. Readjust. Look away if you get dizzy. I have to do a little bit of adjusting here so we don't do a face plant. That one's too big. Here, let's do this one. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I have a lot of people asking me to continue working in Imagimorphia. I do washes and I work through this book periodically, and I don't think there's maybe a couple of pages finished in here. But I work on backgrounds, I'll work on certain images, and then we'll move on to another one. So it's just kind of like working. I'm going to need to lock the light in or something, guys. It's kind of fuzzy. So we'll settle on a page first. So yeah, you can see where we've done different bits. And so some of them just have washes on them and they haven't been shaded yet, like this one. Just got the backgrounds. I really wanted to get all the backgrounds done and then start working on the elements. So this your pencil. It has to be matte. Doesn't have to be Americana, but it has to be matte. The artist grade acrylics, like in the tube, they have like a binder, a sheen to them that can like resist your pencil. And I've not tried every single one, so if you got one that works fine for you, you know. But I just found that just the little craft paint washes is awesome for is awesome. And I also see I put a little bit of white paint here. I'll probably just use, I think I used acrylic paint on some of those highlighted feathers. I'll probably just use a Posca paint pen. Okay, so let's go ahead. I haven't done either by the crowns yet. So this one has a little bit more depth to it because I have white paint on top of it. So yeah, so if you're using paint in your color books, just craft paint. Just craft paint works awesome to do washes and highlights or whatever, and your pencils will go right over it, and it gives it tooth. It gives your paper tooth. So where the paint is, and I mean, it's not like you can really feel it, it's not like really rough, but it gives just enough of a coating over your paper that your color pencils just really go on well over acrylic craft paint. So that's that's the paint that I used in all these washes when I did the flip through here a little bit ago. On all these pages, that's what I've used is the Americana craft paint. So, and you can just kind of do a little bit of blend in here. Kind of pull that down just a little on his head. But I like some of the white showing in there. So if you have any questions, just put them in caps. Kimberly goes, Jean, I love your Martian talk. Kimberly just, and also, you know, sometimes when you're reading things, you read it wrong. Like Kimberly, when she said that, I glanced at it and I thought it said, Jean, I love your martini talk. But she typed it correctly. She said Martian, because we call the girls in Canada, especially the ones way out in the boonies, Martians, because they're so far away. We love your martini talks, Jean. What time is it? Are you serious? It's not. It's 9:29 Eastern time, Julie. If you're being serious, yeah. I don't know if you were being serious on that or not. All right, let me sharpen again because I do want a nice sharp point on the tiny feathers. I know that's what I thought she said. And I do have the seam right here. I do paint right down into the crack of the book there, but I kind of have to give myself a little prop up on this side, or I could put another book under it because it's at the beginning of the book, so it's like wants to push down, you know. So just kind of going with the little feather lines there. Just kind of rolling with them. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep that color pencil rolling. No, no, that's lyric. Oh, okay, it's lyrics. Oh, okay. I get tickled with these girls in chat. I'm telling you, if you're watching the recording, you've never been to a live one. Do we still have Abby? Yeah, we still have Abby. Abby, it's her first time in chat, and I hope it's not her last. Sometimes I wonder, these girls come in for the first time, and yeah, we scare them, I think. No, not really. Oh, Chicago song lyrics. Okay, thanks, Julie. I don't think so. I mean, I hope Abby's having a good time, or anybody else new here. We try to make the newbies feel really welcome. So if you get made fun of, it's because we love you. Just saying. We love you, Abby. Hey, Dazzled. If you're just joining me, I'm working in the Imagimorphia. It already has a wash of paint from previous show, and we're just going in here right now, and I'm just adding shading. We're throwing shade on the feathers. And then my eyes get to water, and then I can't read chat 'cause my eyes are watering from laughing. And again, this one I've already done some kind of a little demo with some white paint or something. Because, you know, if somebody goes, well, what will happen if you do this? Well, we do it right then. we don't mess around. We just go for those demos. Dazzy. Yeah, I like that. And hi, Jennifer, by the way, J Love. I think I said hi to Yee. Dazzy. I like that. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Those girls. I'm about halfway through part 1, Janet, watching the zine making, and oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Hilarious. Janet. Just too funny. Too funny. Okay, now we can get back to making fun of Dee Dee. Or she just said getting back to making fun of her. I had to tweet that out when she said it. It cracked me up. And I know Eileen was in the background. No, do this, do that. I can hear her. I can hear Eileen. Trust me. I can hear her. You're working, Honey Jill, you're working in the Jasmine Beckett. Yeah, I know. I need to do, people have asked me to do another page in the Jasmine book too. You know, so many color books, so little time. You know, we try to make the rounds of all the different ones. I'm not bearing down here, guys. I'm just, you know, just really not very much pressure at all. It was fun for you guys. Well, it was so fun. It is fun watching it. And Janet, she just has her head down and writing and writing and writing. That's okay. We all do typos and can't type some days. Trust me, we all do that, right, Jean? Jean has some funny ones. Jean has some funny typos. But seriously, I try to read my tweets or posts when I, you know, online and all that. Before I hit the send button, I try to make it a habit to read before I send, because literally, I'm not kidding, guys. Especially with the autocorrect. Hang on, a sip of coffee. It's amazing what can get typed in and changed. It really is amazing what can get changed. And when before I hit send, I mean literally, I'd say 90% of the time I have a misspell or an autocorrect in every single tweet or every single post, like on Facebook or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I read that. Unlike Jean, she just sends. Hi, Sandra. And then we all laugh at Jean. She does that. All right, so I think y'all can see how it's not taking too long, but you know, this is kind of when I can relax and read chat a little better. When I'm doing something like this, because it's not focus intensive or something I can't take my eye away from, like if it's wet or, you know, I'm gluing something, you know, I have to be more right on it. But something like this, I can keep glancing up at chat. So if you're watching this recording, this is a laid back one. And if it's not going fast enough for you, you can always speed it up. You just slide the little bar, and there you are. You're 30 more minutes in. Hey, Linda. You never thought to, you never, I have to, Jean, and I'm glad I do. Because some of those that get sent, some of the tweets and comments that get sent, if I would have just sent it, I probably wouldn't have any friends. I'm telling you. Because the autocorrect is worse than the misspell. You know? The auto select word, you know, they'll select what they think you're saying, and it's usually not what you're saying at all. Okay, so here we go. So here's the one without, well, I take that back. We have done a tiny bit right here. But here's, like, this is what it looks like without here. So we're going to continue on this one too. But let's go ahead and do his little face. I got to sharpen because I want a nice sharp point on that face. Okay, so let's just get in here and do a little shading. Because these are tinier feathers on the face, so I just want to kind of just roll around each little feather just a little bit. You can see the difference that shading makes. But the thing is you have a wash of color, but I didn't wash over it like a solid. It's not a solid blue. You can see I left some lighter blue, a little darker blue, you know, and that gives it kind of like a watercolor appearance. And so when you go over, I know, right, honey Jill? So when you go over it, you've got a base, but the base isn't flat. And you can do the same effect, although on these I did a watered down acrylic paint, and I use Americana Craft paint, watered down. I just call it a acrylic wash, which is just watered down acrylic paint. And it's matte. The craft paint is matte. No shine, no gloss, no satin. Because that will resist. Yeah. I haven't picked a page or anything. That's how I work in this book. That's how we roll in this one. We got a tiny bit of the mechanicals done on this. And let's see. Got some of the Egyptian one done. Okay guys, it's bugging me. I've got to focus this camera. I've just got to. Let's see about fixing the light here. Got to fix the light with the white. There we go. There. Now we're cooking. Yeah, it comes together. There's, I think someone should do a coloring book of all different currency. The way we know how much money we saved, Eileen. Maybe we'll work on the swans, because I do have the background done. I have the background done on the swans. So maybe we can work on them a little bit. What do y'all think? Work on the swans? So... Okay, let's refocus. See if I can get it to focus here. Might need to get out my sherry card. Get out my sherry card, because that always seems to pull the light in, or pull the focus in. There we go. That's a good one, Eileen. All right, so I think we will, because that's what I've been using this book is Prismas. We'll just go ahead and use Prismas in this one. Hey, honey Jill. And let's see, maybe, do I want to do any other shading with this, or just go with Prisma? Maybe we'll just go with the Prisma, because that's what we've been using on this page. Get some blues and grays. Let's see what we'll do to start. So yeah. So if you're watching, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more in Imagimorphia. Oh, that's browns. I didn't want browns. I wanted grays. Alright, so let's first pick some blues. Let's get some blue grays and just work a little bit on the swan shade. Swan shading. That's too green. We'll go with a really light blue. I got to sharpen. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Thanks everybody for being here. I also want to get it back into some more altered Eileen book. I had so much fun with that last page with the calendars. I love doing my collage. Okay, maybe, do I want any indigo, because that will help tie in the background? Maybe that's probably all the 3 colors I need. Do I need another gray? Probably not. Okay, we'll keep it with these. All right, let me sharpen right here to the side. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Color along, either with this book or whatever book you're working in. Just going to do a little shading. We're going to throw some shade. Alright, we got a little piece of... Oh, you got Laura to buy the full set of Neo 2s? Good on you, Eileen. Good enabling there. Now, here's the question, Eileen. Here's the question. Will she use them or treasure them? Will she treasure them? All right, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to go ahead and go with the, I have slate blue, I think. Slate blue. This is indigo blue. I always put a piece of tape, blue tape, on the indigo because I always get it confused with the black. You ordered a handful of Luminance pencils. I'm surprised I don't love them. You're surprised you don't love them more? What don't you like about, or what? Give us your review. Give us your review on it. And powder blue. Those are 3 I'm going to start with. I don't know that I'll get, you know, I might get some more. But as you can see, they have the little feathers all in there for you already. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm trying to, y'all, if y'all talk to me, put it in caps. She does love them, Eileen? Yeah, she does love, I know she loves her Neo 2s, but will she use a brand new full set? I love my Neos too. Okay, so let's just start here with some of the, and I'm testing this blue. Yeah, this will be a good blue. So, you know, so many color books have the shading indications for you. So it's great. It's just a great way to practice your shading. I'm going to go under each feather, on the underside of the feathers, see? Just to start. Kind of maybe pull it down just a little. And this part, the shading part, is the most time consuming. It's quick to put a wash over everything to get you started. But that gets you started, gets you out of the, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to touch that page mode. Hey, Jean. Crafting Amy adores her Luminance, yeah. I've been using them in the mouse guard. And I haven't had a chance to test them on portraits yet. I just thought they would be creamier. You love them, but just thought, I don't know, I think they're pretty creamy. I don't know. I like them all. And I like the Holbees, the I don't have many Pollies. But I'm just used to my Prismacolors, and the Prismacolors is what we've been using in this book, so that's why we're rolling with them today, because that's what I've been using in here. Because I don't want to use a different. I mean, I could. I would just have to make a note of it, because people go, well, what color pencil did you use on the Swan page? Well, if I don't put down that I use something different, then I won't remember. I won't remember because we do so many. We do so many book pages that I wouldn't remember unless I noted it. So in this book, I know for a fact that that's what I've been shading with is Prismas in this book. Can y'all see okay? See, I'm just putting a little bit of, and this, I'm going to just, I don't do speeded up videos. Don't do any kind of time lapse. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't do that because I want people to see how long things actually take. When you watch a speeded up video, for me anyway, if you watch a speeded up video and you go, wow, that turned out great. They just did that in 15 minutes. Well, I know better, but I know better. But if you're watching something that and you think, oh, that didn't take long at all. Never mind that speeded up video probably took you like 4 hours. Hey, TNT. I'm going to keep coloring, and I'll try to keep, glancing at chat for things in caps. So yeah, what I love about color books, not just the relaxing and making something. A lot of people, they say, I can't draw, I can't do this, and I don't have anything creative. But color books, everybody can color. Everybody can color, and it trains you to shade, blend, see colors, and try out color combinations and all that. As long as you're the boss of your color book. If you get intimidated by it and go, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to ruin that book, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to relax. You're going to be on edge while you're coloring. And what fun is that? So, yeah. So can you see yeah, you can see the difference there. So, yeah. Jean says, exactly. I sped up my last coloring book from the look. People who won't color and shade would never guess it took you 5.5 hours. Yeah. Okay, I didn't see your last part yet. Jean, you speeded it up? You've never sped up a video. But I haven't watched the last part, though. So, yeah, I know. It takes so much longer than you would think if you do, a lot of detail kind of like this. Some pages, like when we did in the Polish Carolina Kabałka. If you put just washes of watercolor over that, it almost looks like you're done. So some books, you can do washes over and they look almost done. And then, of course, you all know the difference. No, you said, oh, if you sped it up. Okay, you didn't speed it up. If you sped it up, yeah, people wouldn't know that it took 5 hours. Yeah, okay. I thought you meant on your last part, Jean, that you posted that you sped that up. I was going to say, I've never known you to speed up any videos, Jean. Yeah, yeah, it's true. You wouldn't know that it took you 5 hours to do that color book page, which, by the way, turned out awesome. That's okay. I've got it now, Jean. I got it. Yeah. It turned out awesome. I'm trying to stay like right under the thing here. So it's just a little bit of shading just to make it look fluffy. Fluffy. Oh, congratulations, Barb. Barb W. Not to be confused with Barb Owen, our Barb Owen. Yeah, it really did, Jean. It looked awesome. I have to watch part 2. I've been watching Janet's, where she had the secret stream where y'all made my zine.